Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Adidas, release this in a hoodie.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
It's
Tallahassee.
mercy if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This alley-oop, pretty girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Peep the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets after buckets, baby. You out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
Hey, what's up, Vish?
Nothing much. I'm back.
Welcome, everyone. Another episode of Buckets on Six Ring Canes. Once again, there's only two of us. Matt will be here shortly.
Yeah.
Running a little bit late. Sounds like he kind of had a hellish day at work. But if you
he's
haven't noticed,
he's also a West Coaster, so you know
That too.
this like
That
7
too.
p.m. for us is like I could never get off
4
work at 4.
p.m.,
I don't know
man.
what he's doing over there. But...
If you'll notice, we're in our hoodie formal wear. Vish even has a tie on. Tonight is the much anticipated Canes Hoops all-time draft. Much crap talk and research has gone into this. I know I was going through rosters for a good hour or two today, making a list. Vish was doing the same. So we have a few other things we want to discuss before we do the draft. Obviously, we need to wait for Matt to get here. So
do we, or
Vish,
do we do it like the NFL draft and just put a timer on and be like, man, you missed your pick?
Nah, he let us know early enough that he was
I know,
going
I'm
to
joking,
be a little bit late.
obviously. Do you want to read some prize picks first? Do some ad reading here.
I almost read it last time.
You know what?
It
Here,
was
why
just
don't we
me
do
and Matt.
this?
Because I sort of know it, but no, you do it because you
The
know
floor
what
is
you're
yours,
supposed
Miss
to say.
Brown.
No, do it.
All right,
Go
fine.
Vish.
Well, let's just give a shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks. That's prizepicks.com. The offer code is FIVE, the word 5 spelled out, and we'll match your first deposit up to $100. So you deposit up to $100, and you'll get matching funds into your account with the offer code 5. That's FIVE. The way you play is simple. You pick 2 to 5 players. You bet over under on their statistics, and if you hit all of them, you get paid out. And the more you include in there, the higher your payout is. So even though hoops is unfortunately over, hockey's unfortunately over. Not been a good week for Miami sports. There's still baseball. The Marlins
It's been a bad week for me.
The Marlins are actually playing well though, so there's that. You can definitely do baseball. You can do Formula One. So there's still other things you can do your prize picks, and also Melissa, football is just around the corner now, unbelievably.
Well,
so
first of all,
get in there and get your prize picks.
I yes, definitely hit up Prize Picks. I just want to shout out to my two hometown teams of the Miami Heat and Florida Panthers making it to the finals in their respective sports as the 8 seeds, just getting in there and defying all the odds. And I know they're both going to bring home championships soon. The Heat going to do some off-season stuff. Matthew Tkachuk played game 4 with a broken sternum. So definitely some Warriors on the Florida Panthers. So shout out to both of my hometown teams. Let's go. What's up, Max?
Yeah,
Max, whose hoodie do you like better, mine or Vish's?
I would like to point out I'm wearing a tie. I have gone formal for this draft.
Well, I don't have my formal wear on yet. Hold on, wait. There we go.
I guess in Miami that qualifies as formal wear, but
now, well, look at. I mean, you got the U's on the side.
Nice free advertising for Geico.
I got these at a football. I got these actually. I got these.
Oh, there we go,
man.
See, Matt is a man who enjoys.
I'm not a guy. I don't have ties. But I got these. I took a survey at the end of the Notre Dame game walking back to my car, and these people from Geico were like, "Can you take a survey? You can get free stuff." I'm like, "Yo, I'll take these sunglasses." It took like 2 seconds, so I still have them. Max wasn't gonna pick me anyway, just because.
I don't like that. Speaking of bad accusations, that'll be a transition to later. But I like
There
you,
was something there
like
there was something we wanted to discuss.
frequent guest and friend of the program, Max.
Yo, but you and Max are boys. You and Max are boys.
I don't like
So.
this bias accusation.
It is biased. It's definitely biased. But while we're waiting for Matt to come on, there was one particular thing that we wanted to discuss. I actually sent this to Vish, and we discussed it a bit the other night, and it's kind of been all over Twitter. But there was an article released by, what was this guy's name? By Ethan Strauss.
Yep.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Ethan Strauss.
And basically, from what I gather, is he spent like a day or a weekend with the Cavender twins, Haley and Hannah. I guess interviewing them about basketball, their NIL life after basketball, things like that, and wrote an article about it. And the reason why I saw this article is because Hannah tweeted a response to it, basically in so many words saying that what was released wasn't anything what they thought was going to be released. And he kind of just spun words and kind of, I mean, to me, put them in a bad light, basically saying that they are where they are because of their looks. Me and Vish had not an argument. We had a discussion about it. We kind of agree about what our opinions were about it. And I know Vish had a lot to say, so I will give you.
I cut down. I decided that people probably didn't want to come to my TED Talk, so I cut it down significantly. But so here's what happened. And by the way, I actually, Melissa, when you put that Hannah's response in the chat, that's the first time I saw it. And just reading that, it's this bad. When she said woman ran news outlet, I knew who it was already. Without even like reading the article, I knew whose site it was. And so what happened here is, and unfortunately this is not atypical in terms of outrage and clickbait articles, is they decided what they wanted right before they talked to the Cavender sisters.
Yep.
And so that article was written, and then
tell them the name of the article.
Yeah, it's something like hot, and the NCAA's hot girl
the name
problem
of,
or something like that.
The name of the article is "The NCAA has a hot girl problem."
Right.
The Cavender twins, emerging oligarchs of women college basketball, aren't the best players, but they might be the best looking. That was like the little byline.
Yeah, it's the byline, so there's just so much wrong with this. So they tricked them into doing an interview. The only thing I'll say is the Cavender should have looked into who was behind this operation, because this is the type of journalism they do routinely, regardless of what the issue is. This is also about society's double standards, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But what was happening here is, so you're probably wondering, like, if they're going to write the article, why'd they bother interviewing him? So I'm going to get a little old-timey here, but for those of you that weren't alive in the 80s, although I was only a child, but it's recent enough where I kind of remember this after the fact, you know. If you don't know who David Duke is, he was the head of the KKK. And what he did is he realized, if I show up in a hood, in a white outfit with a burning cross, everyone's just going to immediately dismiss me and call me a racist. So you know what he did? He put on a suit. He gave speeches like an adult, and people listened to him. And that's exactly what this is. They're going to sit down there. They're going to couch this as legitimate journalism. This is a hatchet job. But you do the interview, you go through the machinations, and it looks like it's real journalism, and it's not. So that's why they sit down with them and they interview them. They pull a few quotes from it, like, we spoke to these hot girls. And it's reverse engineered, and it's flat out misogyny, because we do not do the same thing to men. And before anyone says, well, for men, it doesn't happen, it absolutely is the same thing with men's endorsements. It doesn't always go to the best player. Jokic is not the most highly endorsed player in the NBA, not even close. Why is that? There's different marketing things. And there's different reasons that people hit in marketing circles. But when it's women, all of a sudden we want to trivialize it. And what happened here is we have two women that yes, they have a social media following, which, by the way, is not really sexual in nature at all. Second, they're also very good at basketball. So they combined those two things to get NIL money.
Yeah, it's the fact that they said they're not great basketball players.
There wasn't even like surface level of research done. Haley Cavinder.
I don't even understand how you say they're not great basketball players when they both received D1 scholarships.
But
like,
even
it's the most insane thing to me.
But even that with that, besides that, right? So obviously anyone that follows sports know if you're a D1 athlete, you're at the top of the top. Putting that to one side, Haley Cavinder was the starting point guard and leading scorer on a team that made the Elite Eight. So you don't even have to know about sports to say, I think this person can play a little bit. But that all gets distilled down into hot girls. If that's your take on that, the problem's with you, not them. Because they're not putting that out there.
It's extremely disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, but it's also just straight up misogynistic because we don't hold men to this standard. Melissa, do you know how Inter Miami, being close to home, became an entity? Like how that team came into existence?
How?
So let's back up about 15 years to David Beckham when he was playing. He was never the best player, not even close, but he was the most famous player. Why? Because he looks like a Calvin Klein model is married to a Spice Girl. That's why.
Exactly.
So when MLS was kind of struggling for legitimacy, they gave him a huge contract. They kind of had to professionalize their organization. Like they used to fly and coach and stuff. He's like, we're not doing that. They'd put like 3 people into rooms at a Motel 6. He's like, no way I'm doing that. And to get him to come here, they had to professionalize the league. He's the single reason why the league is successful today and is like now a respected league versus what it was back then. But part of his contract to entice him over there is he could buy a franchise after he retired for like a nominal franchise fee. Because now if you try to buy into MLS, it's like $200 million to buy a franchise. He paid like $5 million for it.
They just signed Messi.
Yeah. So as you're cheering on Messi here and being like, oh, that is all. I
do remember that. I remember that.
That all.
I remember the news about Beckham wanting to start a franchise down here.
But that was all tied into his original contract, which they had used to entice him. He was not even a top 10 player in the world at that time, but he was famous primarily because of his looks. No one said a damn thing. This entire league is propped up by that. Our franchise is completely because of that. Now Messi is coming here because of that. And no one says anything. But God forbid the Cavinder sisters go on TikTok. Then we got a problem. The hell out of here with this nonsense.
They've worked very hard to get where they are and to build their following. They're amazing basketball players. Like you said, Haley was a leading scorer, led us to an Elite Eight, and Hannah was a massive contributor off the bench. Like, for them to say, oh, they're not great basketball players and everything that they've done is because of their looks is insane. If you've watched, because they have a YouTube channel, if you've watched any of their vlogs, they're at it, like working, whether it's working out when they were with the school, you know, filling stuff for sponsors, whatever, from like sun up to sundown. And they still earned their degree. So to kind of just blow them off saying, oh, they are where they are because of their looks is so disrespectful to, well, first of all, to them, but you're kind of just putting down every woman that's gotten to where they are. Because you're saying, oh, they only got that far because they're good-looking girls. Yeah,
and it's a problem not just in sports; it's outside sports as well. We never question why the guy is in a position he's in or getting the money he's getting. But with the women, it's always like, maybe it's because of her looks, maybe it's because of this, maybe it's because of that. You never bring that up with men. Never. It's a complete double standard. And what this article was laundering that misogyny. It's basically bigotry.
I couldn't even read it all, honestly. I got like halfway through it, and then I was like, I'm done.
It's written as a prose of some very, very serious issue that needs to be examined, right? It frames it that way.
If you guys want to read the article, I retweeted it and I retweeted Hannah's response. But you can go to Hannah Cavender's Twitter and find her response to it. But
I wouldn't give them the clicks. But basically, the point, the actual underlying theme of the article is that women should not be able to profit. That's the theme. and then they try to package it in a gift wrap. Oh, yes, this is a serious discussion. It's a hot girl problem. What the hell are you even talking about? Women's basketball has never been more popular than it is now. And you know why? It's because of the quality of the play on the court. It continuously improves.
The national championship game this year was like the most watched championship, like I think in like women's history.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a sport that has grown. You and I have been following women's basketball for a long time. Like it's so much better than it was 10 years ago in terms of quality on the court.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how much the sport is growing. And then the women's basketball does not have a problem. Ethan Strauss has a problem.
People with these, 1950s ideas that women should be in the kitchen and they shouldn't vote and they should
right,
be
but this
subservient to a man.
is
like,
the literary trick they play. Because if they say stuff like that, they'll easily get dismissed. We don't allow people like that to discuss issues with us in society. But if they wrap it in a package of this is a problem, they're being exploited, NC has a hot girl problem, they frame it as if this is some kind of serious discussion debate. There's no issue here. It's a fabricated issue. It's telling them you can't vote, go back in the kitchen without saying it that way. That's the danger in stuff like this.
That's
you
the
package
insinuation.
You package it in a way that normal people that aren't going to dig more than a layer deep in there will read it and think, that might be reasonable.
And what's crazy is the original tweet of the article, there's people on there that that agreed with it. And I was just like, who are you people?
Well, because they don't read it and they don't watch women's basketball, and that's who it's meant to convince. See, you can't say the shout out to Jazz.
Yeah.
You can't overtly say like, hey, get in the kitchen, or you can't vote, or you should be a second class
citizen.
Just
has the undertones of it.
Right. You can't overtly say that, but you can frame it as not the actual thing you're talking about when it is what you're talking about. And that's what that article did. It's the same thing you see with a lot of these issues where they can no longer say the N-word. So, I mean, our football team experiences this all the time, right? They call them thugs. What are you talking about? We know what you're talking about.
The whole Catholics versus convicts thing.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about. You just can't say the N-word anymore, so you're going to call them thugs. It's the same thing. It's going to repackage it so that people that would know, I don't want to associate with that extremism, still associate with it unwittingly. And that was what he was trying to do there. And that's why he interviewed him too, because that's part of that, putting that bow on it to put, this is a very, very serious issue. Is women's basketball getting too popular, Melissa? Is that a problem? Like, I think that's a problem, right? I mean, what issue was he talking about? There's no.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Idiotic.
It was just a horrible article. Not real journalism.
No, it's what that publication does. Like I said, I knew whose publication it was without even clicking on the article.
As soon as I saw it, I immediately sent it to Vish, and I was like, "We need to discuss this on Buckets because
and then
it's
400 DMs back and forth later of us angrily,
it's
agreeing with each other angrily."
It was something that we both very much felt were very passionate about, and we wanted to make sure that we made our opinions known. Jazz.
Yeah.
So
we'll
get off of the basketball.
Well, let's just real quickly
finish?
to close that conversation out. Needless to say, like, women are free to monetize however the F they want. And if you would not complain about a man doing something, don't you dare complain about women doing it. And that's that is the bottom line. And men have been doing this for years, exploiting. Like, endorsements don't go to like the ugly players. Let's be real. They go to the marketable ones or the good looking ones too. It's just that men are writing these articles, men are judging this stuff, and men don't look at other men and be like, oh, that guy's hot. So they don't even see it. It's like they can't see it right in front of them. But David Beckham was in Calvin Klein commercials for a reason. And it wasn't because he was the best soccer player. Like, that's just the reality.
Needless to say, we both think that article is trash.
It's trash. That publication
and don't agree with
trash.
anything that it said. And kudos to Haley and Hannah for working as hard as they have to get to where they are.
And for calling out that BS too.
And for calling out the BS. Hannah's response to it, I thought, was very well worded and very professional. So kudos to her. And obviously, since they were Canes, I'll be rooting for them in their next endeavor, whatever that is. So with that.
Yeah, let's transition to a horrible bit of news that just came out. called out in the chat. So Ray Lewis III, who's obviously a son of Ray Lewis and also a former Hurricane, apparently, I don't know if you know any details, but passed away this afternoon.
Yeah.
So we certainly want to.
This just kind of broke like an hour ago. I saw it.
Yeah, so we certainly want to send our condolences to the Lewis family, and obviously it's a tough time for them.
No parent should ever have to bury their child. Super sad. I think he was like 28, 27.
Yeah, no, it feels like he was pretty recently playing here.
Yeah, so horrible. So, condolences to the Lewis family. That's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much else to say with that.
Former Kane, son of a Kane great. So
yeah.
Kane's Nation's with them, obviously. So
yep.
Still waiting for Matt.
Actually, like as you said
here?
that,
there
yes.
we go. I was like telepathy, like, come on, Matt, let's go.
All right. Well, I guess without further ado, you didn't dress for the occasion, man. What happened?
I came straight from work, so I immediately ran up here, and I forgot that I had installed my new desk, and so my room is like a hazard right now. So I ran up here and I like almost fell, and yeah, I just didn't want to keep you guys waiting. So
I mean,
we discussed all the depressing things and annoying things while you were gone.
I guess one last thing, maybe before we pivot to the draft, since I was probably more okay with this, the two of you were, but Grant Nelson has gone elsewhere. I think that happened in the last week. I think we pretty much knew he wasn't coming here, but still, I mean, especially Melissa held out hope for the stretch 4.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really hear anything about him besides like the initial. Like, oh, Miami is a place to watch.
Miami showed entrance. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Which I wonder if we did. Now I'm like so curious. Well, I'm so curious because look, there's some that like, maybe we don't even fully offer, but they still come by campus. We clearly showed interest, like Melissa's boy Mustafa, but who I don't think ever really had an offer, but we obviously showed interest, or we wouldn't have told him to come to campus. And then there's other ones that name drop us initially, and then we never see our name again, and everyone knows we're the money school, even though it's kind of BS. It's not really true, and Coach L has been complaining about how everyone's naming us because they think they can get more NIL money. So I kind of wonder if some of these are just kind of like, oh yeah, Miami's interested. Let's see if that'll get me paid.
I mean,
so I think if there's anyone tuning in, they're here for the draft. So should we explain to everybody how this is going to work?
Yeah, why don't we do another prize picks read? Why don't you do it this time? Why don't you do it this time since you just heard me do it?
There's certain things you say that I may not say correctly. But anyway, I almost did it. I was telling Vish, Matt, that I almost did the prize picks thing like off the top of my head last week, just because I've heard him say it so many times. But anyway, so if you guys didn't know, we're sponsored by prizepicks.com. You should check them out. We'll match up to, is it us or Prize Picks?
It's 5 reasons.
It's you personally.
It's actually it's coming out of your bank account. It's 5 Reasons Sports and Prize Picks will match. 5 Reasons Sports and Prize Picks will match up to $100 on your first deposit. And basically, what you do is you take 2 to 5 players. Yep.
And
2 to 5 players,
you bet the over under on their stats, and if you correct, you win. And then the offer code is 5, as in UM has 5 championships. FIVE.
Oh, nice little tie in there.
There you go.
Also, the name of this
Prize Picks. Visit prizepicks.com. Brought to you by 5 Reasons Sports. Boom.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad for your first ad read.
I'm drinking an adult beverage today. I went with the soda instead of.
Just be happy. We had that Manscaped ad last year. And
your balls will thank you.
Well, last summer it was smooth sack summer, so I would never make you read that one. But Prize Picks I think is fine.
You know what I always used to say for that one? I don't want to give anyone free stuff, but I used to always say, get a package for your package.
Yeah, there's one-liners that they give you in the ad read on that. But anyway, it was definitely like the promotion they were running when they were sponsoring the show last summer was Smooth Sack Summer. So to prepare for sacks in the regular season for football, like that was
Prize Picks is getting a lot of love on this. We're making up for all the other pods we forgot about them. That's twice we've mentioned them already.
Yeah, and there'll be more.
All right. So this is how the draft is going to work. And I actually added another part of the draft like a few hours ago, so the guys probably hate me. So what's going to happen is it's basically like your fantasy football draft, except with Canes Hoops players. And this pretty much is like all time. When did we say we were going back till? When I was doing research, I went back till 2000.
Well, after we brought basketball back in the 80s, so none of the obviously like Rick Barry is one of the 50 greatest NBA players of all time. He's obviously the best player to ever play at the school, but none of us saw him play. It's
when I did research, I only went back to 2000. But
right,
anyway,
I think anything after they brought, because they did discontinue our program for several decades. So when they brought it back in the 80s, we're going from there forward.
So basically what's going to happen is it's your basic snake draft, like kind of like you're drafting fantasy football. We've decided that the order is going to be based off of age. So Matt will be first, then myself, and then Vish, and then it'll snake back and forth. It's going to be 8 rounds total, but then I just decided that we're going to add a 9th round, where that 9th round you're only allowed to pick a walk-on from the past.
I only have one walk-on that I can think of right now, so hopefully
you're gonna
go back.
You're gonna have that first pick.
You're gonna get the first walk. If you think about the snake, you just need one.
You just need one. You'll have that first pick.
You're
good. So the reasoning behind Matt getting the first pick is Vish actually came up with this idea because he's followed the program longer than I have, and I've followed the program longer than Matt has. So that's why we did it that way, is so that Matt could have that first pick. And so I guess our first, are we drafting the starting 5, or we're really just drafting 8 players and then
we're drafting a team, right?
We're drafting 8 players total plus a walk-on.
There's going to be multiple sections of this. So first, which Melissa skipped over, we have to name our teams. So that's the first thing we're going to do.
Yeah, I haven't thought
and then you draft whatever players you want as the 8, and then we can but you're drafting your team, and then the walk-on, I guess, as well, and then you can then we'll have a discussion after that in terms of like what your starting 5 is and all that. But
so it is a team.
It's not just
our starting 5.
Yeah. No, your first 5 don't have to be your starting 5. But it's not the goal is not to just it's not a fantasy team. It's supposed to actually be able to play basketball. So if you pick 8 teams, that's probably not the best move.
And I was telling Vish before the show that your first pick is gonna heavily influence who I pick second.
There's a lot of complexity. There's a lot of complexity.
I have a few guys in mind, and then I'm trying not to go based on who my favorite players are. Because although if you guys pick that one player that I absolutely love, I will fly to both of your homes and kill you both. So do not pick my one guy.
Not the first time
you know who it is.
Offered to fly to DC and kill people. But anyway, I will say Matt and I have a little bit more of a challenge here, because after we pick, there's 4 picks before it comes back around to us. So you can
honestly, I'm really concerned about the structure of my team. I feel like I'm going to end up with like a bunch of one position.
Yeah,
but if it happens, you know what?
Okay, but this is the thing, right? This is the thing, though. Maybe you're playing small ball, or maybe you're going big, or you just got to be able to piece it together, right? I mean,
at least we're not drafting coaches, because then there would be a fight.
Well, I mean, there's only 2 you could reasonably. Obviously, Coach L would be the first one, then Leonard Hamilton would be the second one, and then it's like, good God.
You're stuck with like Perry Clark and Frank Hayes.
Well, I mean, you'd have to go with Frank Hayes.
I'll take Coach Caputo, dude, to be honest.
Yeah,
one of you would be screwed, because one of you would have the first pick, and then I'd have the second, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, you'd at worst get Leonard Hamilton, who is a fine coach, but like after that, it's just such a drop off.
Wait, I have to get my draft.
Oh, you're gonna put out her? Yeah. We dressed up Matt. Mr.
You want me to go change right now? I'll go change.
Mr.
Do you have a Canes hoodie nearby that you can throw on to put on your formal hoodie?
No, it's on the other side. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
See, this is when we should have promoted Prize Picks. This is when we should have promoted Prize Picks.
Let me put you backstage so you can do whatever you want. Give me a thumbs up. I can see you still. I can see your room. Actually, I can't see you. But give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go, and I'll bring you back in.
So, do we have people watching right now? I'm always
Yes.
worried that there's nobody
Yes.
paying attention. So, once we're done with the draft, I guess maybe we'll put a poll on Twitter. And
Yeah,
we
we'll
want
figure
people
out how to
vote
get
on-
people to judge
Yeah,
our
people.
teams.
Well, what can have people judge in the chat? But then I'll put a poll on Twitter or something, and we'll screenshot it, and I'll put a poll on Twitter and get people to vote on whose team they like the best, and then we'll run through that on next week's show, which will be Wednesday.
There's a whole schedule and plan out now that someone put together.
Yeah,
this
Wednesdays
show.
and Thursdays tend to work the best for Matt. And the way my schedule flows, I'm usually off one of those days. So that's kind of what we go based off of. Watch, there's going to be a week where I'm working Wednesday and Thursday, and then
we'll figure it out. We don't all have to be on every single show, but as we've discovered,
I've only missed 2 because you've done 2 shows with Matt, and you've missed 1.
I mean, I was there backstage.
And you weren't on it. You were on it.
I was most definitely not on it.
No, but it was good. Me and Matt needed to have a show that was.
It would have been a snuff.
Guys,
film
for the
if
for reference, we're stalling, waiting for Matt to put on his Formal Canes hoodie or Formal Canes gear.
Well, that's not what he came on with. I can see him. Matt, give me a thumbs up if you're ready.
Oh, did he put on a suit?
I mean, he's no. All right,
I thought he was gonna put on a Canes hoodie. Oh, there we go. Put on the jersey.
I got
like
my
it.
signed
Like
Jordan Miller jersey on right now.
All right.
All right. Well, did you just take his
ready.
first pick? We're about to find out. But first, we got to name our team.
Oh, you can see my screen in my glasses.
I mean,
should I pull the hood up too?
You're not gonna be able to see it now, so I mean.
This is official. Let's go.
Yeah, I asked Vish, I'm like, you're making a spreadsheet.
I prepared, man. What are you talking about?
I did not at all.
Well, we did have this conversation.
10 minutes last night.
Maybe we had this conversation in text. I was saying like we need some way to like display it, and Vish is like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a spreadsheet."
I know how to do things.
Matt, you're up first. So
well, first you gotta name your team. You gotta name your team.
You gotta name your team. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go. There's a couple names I was debating. I don't want to use one because it's gonna give away my team. I'm just gonna go. I'll go 3 and D. Let's go some 3 and D.
Is it the number or is it the word spelled out 3?
3 like the number 3
and D.
Yeah.
Oh, you should do 3 and D. Like N.
Oh, you want to do the?
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, let's do that.
Right.
Good call, Melissa.
Well, let's see if it interprets this as like a mathematical thing. And
yeah.
All right, there we go.
All right. Good.
I was trying to figure out a way to involve the stretch 4 and a hoodie in the name, but I don't know that it's gonna work well. So I'm just gonna go with the hoodie canes.
The hoodie canes.
Hoodie canes. I love
That's
it.
not bad.
No, not the. Don't just put hoodie canes. Don't put the.
Okay. Is it one word like hurricanes, or is it 2 words?
No, just 2 words. Otherwise, it looks weird.
There we go.
All right, and I am doing a Destiny Harden tribute and going "Excuse my language."
There you go.
Which I don't know
had
how
to involve hoodies.
Yeah. So there we go. I had to give one shout out to women's hoops.
I feel like should there be like a
an
apostrophe with the S?
They probably
I couldn't
should.
think of the word. I almost said
They
comma.
probably should. Oh, it doesn't like it because it's you know what I think? Hold on.
Oh, that's stupid.
Well, no, because that's how you escape something in Excel, which I'm assuming.
Oh, got it.
No, I doubled it.
It's fine.
Always creating
Don't worry
problems.
about it.
I think if I just put 2 of them, I think it'll keep the second one. Let's go with this.
Are the glasses too much, guys?
No.
Are they too much for you? You're the one that's there. We go.
I was trying to, because Vish came out with a tie, so I was like.
I mean, Matt promised to wear a suit, so I was like, and then Melissa was like hoodie. I was like, all right, hoodie and tie.
I was gonna wear a bow tie, to be honest.
This is my favorite hoodie that I own. I was debating between this and wearing that new jacket that I got, but I thought that might be a little too hot.
Yeah, this is all toasty, even in just the hoodie. But all right, Matt, you're on the clock. Not that there is a clock, but.
You know, whenever you're watching the draft and the first team's up and they take the entire time of the clock, that's
well, I mean,
kind of what's going to happen
time.
here.
Well,
no.
We can discuss
let me explain.
Unlike a normal draft, I have the ability to just throw you out of it. So keep that in mind.
Well, no. So I was really thinking. There was 3 guys that I was like debating between.
This is interesting.
And I think the reason why I'm going with this guy is because, first of all, he's one of the greatest that's ever played here.
Oh my god.
Second of all,
guy.
it's at a position where there's a drop off after him. So
Don't do it.
there's a lot of wings that played at Miami. I'm not gonna go with a wing.
I had this same discussion with my friend today, by the way.
I'm gonna go with a point guard.
Oh, you're gonna go with a point guard.
And I'm gonna go with Shane Larkin with my first pick.
Nah.
That was
so
on
Shane Larkin is the
Shane
first
Larkin.
pick in the first ever all-time Kings Hoops draft.
That was
Yep,
second team
All-American.
I anticipated that.
Finalist for the
So-
Wooden Award. I think the Kuzi as well. So I had to go with Shane
So-
Larkin, man.
That pick actually changes what I'm going to do because I was
Okay.
kind of debating. I will say I'm between. Should I name the 3 guys I'm between?
No,
Or
don't do that because it
No,
tips
don't
it.
do
It
that.
tips it. What
Don't
are you
do
doing?
that.
Okay.
We're gonna
So-
debrief after this. You can talk through kind of how you arrived there. Just don't do it before because
So
Wait.
I'm down to 2 guys in a position where I think is actually a very small position, like as far as like the drop off after. And I'm going between who I love and who I think is one of the greatest Canes of all time at that position and was very underappreciated because he played earlier on. So me and my friend Paul were having this discussion. I told him to tune in, but he's out with his girlfriend tonight, but he's going to watch later. So I told him I was going to shout him out. Me and him had this discussion if I should take this person or this person. So despite as much as my heart tells me to take this one guy, I don't know. I'm rethinking myself now. That's not who I thought you were going to take, Matt.
Who'd you think I was gonna take?
I don't know.
Don't.
Should I just go with my original? Should I go with my
So don't
should I go with my original first pick until Paul talked me out of it?
Do who you want to do.
Yeah,
This isn't
don't
Paul.
know. This is
isn't
also
Paul.
yeah. This
No,
is,
he made
This
really
is
good
you.
points because I was like, I need another perspective because I have players that I absolutely love, and I was just like, I need to be smart and pick like the best. Like the players that I love are some of the best too. Oh, it's so hard. You should see this list that I have in the corner of my screen. All right, I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with my original choice of who I wanted to take to begin with, and I'm going to go with the man among men, Jack McClinton.
There you go.
That is interesting. I didn't even have him on my board,
Oh my God, Jack is a legend.
and I'm comfortable with my board. All right, now I got 2
I'm going with
picks.
Jack McClinton.
So now I got to look at, who I think is gonna go before it swings back around.
I know this is what's gonna be
4
tough.
picks
Vish.
is
I
a
feel
lot
like
of picks.
we're gonna end up with teams that
Um,
like could be very different of what we thought they were gonna be.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with who I think is one of the best, if not the best, player to come through here. The reigning ACC Player of the Year, Isaiah Wong,
Yeah.
who I am picking here, and then and kind of forced on this one with Matt's pick, but I'm gonna take Angel Rodriguez because I'm not feeling. Actually, I did have another
Oh.
point guard I could have taken, but I feel like that position's getting pretty weak, so I want to lock that down.
Oh my God, this is wait, hold on. I gotta really look at what I'm doing now.
So all guards went in the first round. I'm just pointing that out right now.
Yeah, I
The
feel
first
good
round
about my
was all
board. I
guards.
feel very good about my board. I have like I'm looking at my 3rd and 4th options at positions, and I'm feeling good. So
All right. With my second pick in the second round, I am going with I'm gonna go with screw it. I'm taking Kenny.
the stretch
taking
4
Kenny.
goes off the board.
I am
Melissa.
taking my man, Kenny freaking Taji.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. If you didn't take him, I was gonna take him here.
I had
So
to.
it's a good thing you did.
I'm taking my boy Kenny. I mention him all the time. If I had a 35 jersey, I'd be wearing it right now. That's my boy. Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four. One day, Kenny Kaji will be on the show. If anybody out there knows Kenny Kaji, tell him he needs to come on Buckets because he has his number one fan on the show. All right, Kenny's mine. Let's roll.
All right, Matt, you got 2 picks in a row.
Oof. I'm kind of shocked here because there's a guy on the board that I didn't think was going to be on the board. It's a guy that I didn't watch play a lot. I didn't watch him play a lot in college, but I watched him in the NBA. He was a guy I actually was thinking of taking number 1 just because of his skill set and his size. When you look at, who's available, I'm going to go with James Jones, the GM.
Oh.
That was not where I thought you were going with this, and
I thought you were taking somebody else.
Shout out to Mahoney 4th floor where I live down the hall from James Jones freshman year.
All right, so through 2 rounds, we have 5 guards and a stretch 4 taken off the board.
James Jones is not a guard.
Is he a small forward?
Yeah. No,
he played power forward.
He's a wing. He's a wing.
He's a stretch 4.
Yeah, he's definitely.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah.
I always considered him a wing.
Yeah,
I always considered him a wing.
So actually, this raises a question, right? Are we fielding this team in the pros or in college? Because he was 100% a power forward in college.
Yeah.
I always considered him a wing. That's fine. Go ahead.
You landed my era, man. So
hey, basketball is a position game.
I got my top 2 guys.
The 5-year
so I'm
gap,
in a very good mood right now.
The 5-year gap between Melissa and I going to Miami is the James Jones era. So that one I'm comfortable with. Jazz, we decided a new one from before the program is disbanded. So so 80s and up to Kickoffs. Which is why Rick Barry has not been taken.
So before we do round 3, how are we feeling about each other's teams right now?
It's only great. 2 people.
I'm feeling great.
I feel good.
I'm feeling good. I like the shooting power my team has right now.
I feel great about my team.
And the ability to stretch the floor.
Same.
Boom. Just gonna throw it out. I should have just called my team the stretch fours.
So
all right, round 3. Let's go.
I have 3 guys I'm looking at right now. And I think it's one of the guys you thought I was going to pick when I said it was someone I didn't really watch in college because it was when I was younger.
I keep thinking I know who you're going to pick, and then I'm completely
But I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to kind of go after – this might be a reach for some people, but this was my favorite Hurricane to watch just because how dynamic he was offensively. When he was playing, he was the 7th most efficient player offensively via Ken Palm rankings. I really don't think you guys know who I'm going to take here. Do I want to go in this route?
Do you know who you want to take? Because I'm wondering now if you know who you want to take.
There's 2 guys that I'm... Screw it. I'm going with my guy, one of my favorite Canes ever, Sheldon McClellan.
Ooh, he's on my board. I had him up there. I'm a big Sheldon McClellan
He changed his name to Sheldon Mack, right? Actually.
Sheldon Mack, yeah. You can put Sheldon Mack.
Well, no, because I think also there's another player that changed his name after he left here, but that I'm going to use his actual name. He's been on this show. All right, Melissa. All right. It is rotated back to you.
So I'm gonna continue on with like a whole I don't do a true point guard and I just like take some combo guards and roll with it type of thing. So with my 3rd pick,
I know who she's going with.
I'm going to take recently crowned NBA champion Bruce Brown.
Interesting.
That's who I was debating between.
And we have the same last name, so I mean.
You had to do it. All right.
I'm going from different eras here. None of these guys have played on the same team when they were in Miami.
Actually, I think the same thing for Matt's team
Yeah, same.
and mine. Well, let me double check my board because I think I'm in good shape here. Yeah, I'm about to change that because, well, first, I will say for you youngsters, it is an absolute abomination but I had a feeling no one would pick this guy. There's two names that are retired in the rafters, actually retired.
I know who
One of
you're
them is Rick
talking
Barry.
about.
The other one is Tim James, who
Yeah.
won Big East Player of the
Oh.
Year, was first team Big East twice, and actually was the first reason the program ever had a quality jump was because
He's on my list.
And I am stealing him in the third round. He is, if not, he might be, again, he's in the conversation for best player to ever play here. Certainly impactful. Basically was the key to the program coming back and because they stunk in the 80s and 90s until Tim James showed up, and then he elevated the program until Perry Clark executed it. So I would have taken him in the first round, but I figured neither of you would pick him. So this is why I'm picking last. And in that vein, 10-year plus NBA career for my man John Salmons, who is getting picked here. And
He's on my list also in bold.
I feel like very good about my team now. That was the market inefficiency I was planning on taking advantage of, because those two guys are freaking awesome in third and fourth round.
I need a Who do I want now? Who rounds out? I'm gonna have a lot of shooters on my team.
And we're gonna pause after round 4 to do a little mid-game discussion, and also we'll address Jazz's Kenny Kaji comment.
Uh-oh.
Well, because there's
Kenny
a philosophical.
first, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt knew to give me a
picks.
chance to take Kenny.
Do your
First of all,
picks.
Kenny's the man.
No, I think.
Oh.
Well, we'll discuss just after we complete round 4. So in between Matt's 2 picks here, because I have a question about Kenny Kaji.
You know what? I'm gonna go recent, and I'm gonna go into our lovely Final Four team, and I need a well-rounded guy who plays defense, who can pass, can score, is a leader of a team, who just literally is probably the best human ever. And I'm gonna take my boy.
You don't even know him. Wow.
I'm taking my boy Jordan Miller.
He's not your boy. He's my boy.
Wait, hold on a second. At this point, you picked. I honestly thought that might be Matt's number 1 pick. I cannot believe you took 3 players and none of them were Jordan Miller.
I gave you Kenny Kaji. The least you could have done is give me Jordan Miller.
You didn't give me Kenny Kaji. You took Shane Larkin first.
You had 3
You
chances.
only had 1
I'm not going to take Kenny Kaji with the first pick.
Yeah,
So
I like
you
him.
didn't give me Kenny Kaji.
To take Jordan Miller, and he didn't do it. I couldn't believe that. Anyway.
Vish gave me Kenny Kaji
It's
by
okay.
not taking him.
I got who I
his
really
third
want.
No, I was going to take Tim James as a significantly better power forward. I knew I was going to get a better player later. But anyway,
No, I wanted the stretch 4.
It's okay. I got who I really wanted.
Were you going to take Jordan Miller? You were going to take Jordan, weren't you?
I was going to take Jordan here. Yeah, I was going to take Jordan, and I was going to take the guy I'm about to say right now.
So anyway, Fish's pick. We're going to do a little in-game halftime report here.
After my pick, right? After this one?
Yeah, after your pick.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to do this one because this is the one I for sure know I want to do. I wanted to take Jordan Miller next to this guy, but obviously that's not what's going to happen. So I got to go with my other guy, two-way monster, could guard multiple positions, guard with a 7-foot wingspan. I'm going with my boy Davon Reed.
That's a good pick.
I almost took Davon. I almost took Davon, but then I was like, no, I gotta go with my boy Bruce. But could you imagine if I had taken Davon and Jordan Miller? Matt would have killed me.
Well, then I think you would have taken Bruce Brown or something. But anyway, so first of all, with this, was there any consideration, Melissa? Because I obviously Matt said he was not going. Was there any consideration to this? So
there was 3 guys I had on a list to take first. One of them was Jack, who I took. The second was Kenny, and a third I will tell you all about later.
Okay.
But I did debate but I had a feeling you were gonna go guard first, especially
Yeah,
once Matt took Shane. So I was pretty sure Kenny would be safe till the second round, but I didn't think it was gonna come back to me in the third round. So once I took Jack, I knew I was taking Kenny second.
So another question, because I can tell you right now, I wasn't going to draft Sheldon. So had Matt taken Jordan Miller in the third round, would Sheldon have rolled back around to him and he could have picked him anyway? Would you
Who,
have
Sheldon?
picked? Yeah, if Sheldon was there.
Sheldon would have been off the board before I got back to him.
Okay,
for sure.
so you would have taken him in the third or fourth round if he was there.
I'll show you later. I'll text you a photo of my list because I have certain guys bolded.
Oh, I should undo the deletes because I've been deleting people off as you picked them.
I mean, hey, with how I'm playing, man, like you need guys that can create their own offense. And honestly, I think Sheldon McClellan was next to Jack McClellan was the next best guy that could do that.
Well, you're gonna need guys that can create your offense because I'm gonna got the clamps down with Salmons and
well,
James. Here.
My team is all offense right now.
I'm gonna defend the crap out. You guys aren't gonna get across half court with these two guys. I don't think you know how defense is played back in the day.
Putting up 100+ per game with the shooters I have right now. I'm just letting you know. So
not on my defense. You should have seen how we used to play defense, man. Anyway,
just wait till you see
this is kind of more of a. Yeah, Jazz, we know we always are. It's buckets. What show do you think you're watching?
I want to know how Jazz feels about the fact that I added a walk-on slot at the end.
I mean, that was not really necessary, but we placated you.
I think it was totally necessary.
Here's more of a philosophical question. Does it, so Kaji obviously had a great year here, but it was a year, really. How does that factor into kind of some of your... Like I mentioned, Tim James he was also Big East Player of the Year and was first team All Big East multiple years, so he was awesome. But he also him, and that's something that came in with Wong for me too. I was like, this guy for 4 years just elevated the program. And to me, I weighed that, even though I guess we're just rolling a ball out. That doesn't matter for squat. But I did kind of look at that as well.
It just depends what you're looking at, right? If you're looking at accolades in career at Miami versus well,
Kenny only played 1 year at Miami,
right?
But you don't see that prototypical stretch four everywhere. Kenny Kaji could handle the ball. He could shoot. He could drive. He played defense. He was 6'10", I think.
6'11".
You can't 6'11". There's not that many guys like him.
I'm confident Tim James would lock his ass down. But anyway, let's
yeah, I don't know.
Before Jazz,
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
Before Jazz kills us, let's proceed to round 5.
What? Vish was talking, not me.
I know he's gone full Ethan Strauss on us and just blamed you.
We're gonna get Jazz on the show. Jazz, stick around. When we're done, you're gonna come on and evaluate our teams.
Oh man.
All right. So we're halfway through.
I really don't know what I'm going to do. I might just go ultra small ball, to be honest with you.
That's fine. I will. I know too soon and all that. I will UConn both your asses then. I don't care.
I'm kind of going small ball right now.
I know. That's why I'm gonna pound you into submission.
Although I do have Kenny.
That's fine.
There's two guys that I'm looking at right now, and I'm just not sure where I want to go.
Matt's just heartbroken because I took Jordan.
No, it's okay. We're
You
going to still work
prioritize.
No, I'm going to go back to the tape later because when I start talking about the best human does everything, you could see Matt shed a tear. He was like,
you don't even know him, Melissa, okay? You know what? Stop.
So
you don't even know him.
I'll say this. Let me ask you.
That's bitterness right there. He's bitter.
I'll give Matt.
You let me wear a Jordan Miller jersey, and then you took him, and you ripped my heart out.
You had 3 picks.
You had 3 picks before
Vish,
I took
why are
him
you
to
always
take him.
defending Melissa? I hate this, okay?
I'm always defending Melissa. When did that happen? I believe her
Always.
favorite emoji to respond to me with is the middle finger. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, Vish. She's your favorite. Oh my gosh.
I know. I will say this. I definitely because I honestly could have just picked our 1998-99 Big East championship team and you wouldn't have picked any of the players off there and I could have rolled out a team I know is really good. But I'm intentionally
I stopped at 2000.
I feel like that was part of your James Jones pick a little bit. You're like, I want to get one of the olds in there. I think is part of part of Matt's James
Well, I
Jones
like.
pick as well.
I mean, the size too, because I mean, you look. How many guys are over 6'5", 6'6"?
Matt
Tim
Stalling.
James.
Legit played power forward.
Tim James's.
Matt Stalling.
Mm,
There's no clock.
Have-
He can stall as long as he wants.
yeah, I can stall as long as I want. Chill, bro. Okay. I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm gonna take who I want to take,
Well, that's advisable versus taking who you don't want to take.
and that's gonna be my guy, Durant Scott, former ACC
Ooh.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Ooh.
Great memories of him locking Seth Curry up in that game against Duke. I
Yeah,
like the
stopping the
versatility he
floor.
brings offensively too. Ability to play make a little bit and stuff. He was 6'5", right?
So-
He's
So
6'5".
you've got the same backcourt from 2013 because you got Shane and Durant.
Yeah, that was my thought process a little bit. I had another guy I was gonna pick.
I am curious after we get through like the 9 rounds here, how you line up.
We'll see.
Be interesting.
I'm just going with whatever, man.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So you're on the clock.
I want to pair Kenny with somebody at the 5 who can allow Kenny to stretch the floor, and just get a big guy down low. So, although he's kind of a stretch also. Do I want to take him now or should I go with my other pick? You know what? I might go a little small ball also.
Do it.
I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna take Lonnie Walker.
Interesting.
That was the guy I was debating between.
Interesting.
Durant.
I'm gonna take Lonnie.
One of the highest draft picks in Miami history. Both
Right.
him and Shane, I think, were 18th picks, right? 18.
Wait, Lonnie and Bruce were on the same team, no?
Yeah.
I'm getting my years
on the
confused.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reuniting a backcourt as well. You got Durant and Shane. I got Bruce and Lonnie.
So I've got a lot of ways I can take this. I know, like oh god. So I'm
By the
trying
way,
to think.
Vish, I think John Salmon's name is wrong. Isn't there an H in there?
I thought it was JON.
There is.
Anyway,
I just noticed it
you can.
as you were like moving the
I have
cursor
it typed
around.
out on my list as JOHN,
Alright,
and I was getting that from the Miami side. I could be wrong.
No,
You know, just in case we get him on the show, you know.
Oh, Matt, be careful because I might take your boy in the next round. You should pick him soon.
Don't.
You know
play
who I'm
mind
talking
game.
about.
So I'm trying to
My
anticipate who's going to be picked here.
The one we joke about all the time.
Oh my god, no one's taking that guy.
Shut up.
All right.
I was like, no, not another one.
All right, so I still have 4 picks. All right, here's what I'm doing. I am going to bring some post game in here and take Reggie Johnson.
Oh, I like it.
And then I'm going to bolster a person that can back up both the 4 and the 5 and put DeJuan Hernandez here.
That's a good one.
So now I'm feeling good about, like I said, I'm feeling good about my team.
I am also going to take a 5, and I'm going to stick with my small ball, and I'm going to take Norchad.
Oh, wait, we can take current players?
Wait, can you take current players?
Yeah, this is
Am I not allowed
all-time.
to take? I can't
I
take
don't-
Norchad because he's still on the team.
So I full disclosure, I think Matt's right, but he's on my list. Because I
Yeah,
screwed up.
that's
So
Okay.
you can't take
Oh, we
current
can't-
players.
So we can't take anyone that's currently on the team.
Yeah, no, this is supposed to
Yeah.
be like,
Okay, I have a few people I need to delete then. All right, so I won't take Norchad then. I didn't know that. I thought as long as they were on the team at some point, it was okay. My bad.
I
Didn't know the
because
rules.
I knew that and I put him on my list anyway.
I didn't know that. That's fine.
So,
All right, no worries. So instead of Norchad, I am gonna take Darius Rice.
There you go.
There you go. Man, you are leading into this to the shooting here. I have definitely played
Basically, the best 2
different
stretch
style.
4s. Basically, the 2 best stretch 4s in Miami history: Darius Rice and Kenny Kaji. He was the 3rd guy I was debating taking, by the way, in the 1st round.
Darius Rice.
Yeah, bro. He's a legend. He was before his time at the stretch 4 position.
He was. Anyway, most notable.
Don't hate on Darius.
For living in the same apartment building as me and setting off everyone's car alarm by playing his bass too loud in his Ford Explorer. I'm sad
I wasn't allowed to take Norchad. I like the pairing of him and Kenny.
Of course you do. You talk about it every show.
Anyway, go ahead.
You got
I guess I
two in
can't
a row
take
here.
Nigel either. I should delete him off my point guard list.
Oh.
What are you gonna have McClinton run? Anyway, we'll talk about that at the end.
Do I want to draft a big to have a big? Oh, there's someone on the board I didn't think would be on the board at this point, and I'm debating if I want to take him. Oof. Man, this is tough. I had this all game plan worked out, but drafts never go according to plan, man.
You thought you were going to have Jordan Miller and Bruce Brown on your team?
It's okay. No, I didn't think I wasn't Bruce Brown. I was unsure of it. It was going to depend who was there. But yeah, I thought I was going to get Jordan Miller.
I needed one like older guy from like years ago. So Darius was definitely my guy.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. All right. I have to go with another one of my guys. Man, I'm taking another guy from this team. I need a little bit of size. I'm going to take a guy that was pretty mobile, though, for his size. Good defensive player, good rim runner. I'm going to go with Julian Gamble.
Ooh, I was going to take him next.
So I should point out, as I was backstage ill, I was producing the show last week when two of the three of us, to his face, told Mr. Gamble he would be a first-round pick.
Hey, he got drafted, okay?
Okay, let me.
I did not make that promise to him, so I feel clean. You two, however, I don't know how you sleep at night.
So since I took Julian, I'm gonna go with the guy that I'm a little surprised that he's still on the board here. I'm gonna go with my guy. Hopefully we have him on the show soon. Cam McGusty.
No, that was my next pick.
How does it feel?
Dang it.
How does it feel,
I was
Melissa?
totally gonna take Cam next. I needed that presence. Dang it. I had him ready to queue up too. Yeah, I knew I should have taken him before Darius.
One of the highest scoring seasons in Miami Hurricane history. I think third highest. I can't remember.
Look at
I was taking him next.
Jazz, don't help them, man. I picked last because I have a competitive advantage knowing those teams. Don't be helping them out. Next one's gonna pick Konstantina Popa. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I feel good about this.
I feel very good about my team. And
I'm loving my team.
And I'm about to get to pick two more here. And
all right, I'm gonna go defense here. I'm gonna go defense, and I'm gonna take. Jimmy Graham.
Oh,
interesting pick.
Okay. Let me write that on my sheet.
Don't forget he started in basketball. I sat next to him on the Hurricane for 10 minutes one day on the way to class.
Did you draft him just so you could tell that story?
She's told that story before, so hopefully not.
He's on my no. Honestly, what it is like literally my team is all offense right now. I'm like, let me get a defensive stopper that I can bring into the game to just make clog the paint a little bit.
All right, so there's like 4 players I want to pick, and I have 2 picks left. You did not clear up my board nearly as much as I expected. Definitely wants to. Let me see what I got here. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go. So try to build a team here. So first, I'm gonna get debatable as a backup. Could be the starting point guard, but Vernon Jennings. None of you know who it is, but Big East champion, starting point guard, good distributor, great on the ball defender. Larkin's not going to get past him. And then
That's a lot.
I'm going to go because I want some scoring, shooting off the bench. I'm going to go Trey McKinney-Jones for.
Melissa's so sad right
No!
now. Got 7
that was my
picks.
other guy. I was like, nobody's gonna take a specialist.
I need it
because,
like I'm telling you, my team is like ready to kill people right now. I'm loving this team.
No!
I could D up.
How
I could
dare
play
you
multiple
take
styles.
my boy?
I could go
Dang
another
it.
2 or 3 rounds to be honest. Like I have so many players
Fine.
left
You
on
know
my
what?
board.
You're gonna take my boy Trey. I'm gonna take Rob Height.
Huh. That's an interesting pick. Anyway, we'll
I'm gonna take
debrief.
Rob Height. Huh?
We'll debrief.
I'm taking Rob Height.
All right, there you go. That's a good pick. Okay. I mean, Vernon will clamp him, but
Whatever.
I don't understand the defense, man. I could throw a defensive lineup out there that'll kill people, and I could throw scoring out there. I like this team.
Vish is just talking up his stuff. Like he's not even looking at mine and Matt's team.
I got Tim James in the 3rd round. Are you kidding me? That's the cheat code.
Give me a second.
I know you're really thinking hard about your walk-on pick, and that's what is causing.
I know that's what's killing me right
I mean,
now.
I could literally pick like another 4 players right now, like, and I'm already out. So
Don't extend it.
I know, no, we're not extending it. 8 is
Yeah, don't please.
No, we're not extending it.
Okay. Oh my god, man. You know what? Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with a guy whose game kind of reminds me of Jordan Miller. Someone that's a little bit undersized but can battle down low. Guards multiple positions. Great rebounder for his size as well. I think he's one of the leading rebounders in Miami history. I'm gonna go little two-way or a little defensive action here. I'm gonna go with Anthony Lawrence.
Okay. Interesting.
You need those unselfish dudes that don't need plays for him.
That is an interesting pick. He was nowhere near my board. I'll just say that. All right, who's your big walk-on pick here? Which I'm not sure what we're doing with the walk-on, but
I don't either. What is his name?
I guess I'm the only one who can name like 5 walk-ons. You want the one that Julian referred to?
No. The most recent one. No, not most recent. Sorry. Played a lot during COVID. Is it Willie Harrington? Is that his name?
I think that is it.
Yeah, I'll take Willie.
His name.
And then also, for my 9th round pick, I'm gonna take another.
I'm gonna take the greatest walk-on that ever was, Jonathan Stratton.
Is that how you spell Jonathan? Walk-on. You'll figure it out.
It's walk-on.
All right, I'm gonna have to literally just look up the name I wrote down. Okay, mine, because I looked at who the walk-ons were when I was in school. I actually remembered this guy after I looked it up, but I never got the whole like deifying the walk-on thing, so it just wasn't a thing for me. But anyway, I'm going with Orlando Gonzalez, local kid. Came in at the end while we were crushing teams in the Big East.
All right, there's the teams, guys.
So I feel great. I feel like I killed it.
I'm loving my team. I'm kind of sad that TMJ is not on my team because he was kind of like he probably was one of my favorites ever. But Vish stole him from me.
In the 8th round, literally my last pick.
I didn't think anyone was gonna pick a specialist. I was like, he'll be there.
Well, I'm looking at my team, and I'm like, I can bring him off the bench behind Salmons. He can knock some threes down. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Dewan can back up center and power forward, so I kind of got a good swing there. Vernon Jennings might actually start.
I like my power forward position with Kenny and Darius.
Oh, I am more than happy to have Tim James play against them. I feel good about that as well.
Not gonna lie, Vish, I was debating like drafting Tim James, but I was like,
it was the risk I took because he definitely like it was. I was like, I think he'll slip through, and then Melissa like, well, that was my thinking going in anyway. When Melissa said she went back to 2000, I was like, okay, it's only down to whether Matt takes him or not. So I had to risk it for 2 picks there.
Well, I stopped at 2000 because I had so many guys on my list. I was just like, I can't. Like, my list took up like the whole screen. It was huge. So
I mean, I still had. I'll read off some of the names I had that we didn't get to. I was actually paying Jaquan Newton as a defensive point guard, but I went with Vernon instead. Guillermo Diaz, Johnny Hemsley.
I had Guillermo Diaz on my list
on our Sweet 16 team, but I didn't pick him.
I wanted Rob Hyde for the chants they used to do in the student section. He had like a whole poem.
I had Charlie Moore on my list, but
interesting. I just didn't go that deep. I didn't go that deep because I knew like no one's gonna pick Vernon Jennings. And I was like,
you know, honestly, I was debating with my
Charlie Moore,
pick of
Lance Hurdle, Anthony
Sam
Harris,
Sam
Wardenberg, Ryan Brown, Darius Adams, James Dews.
I mean, I had
Daquan Jones, Mari Murphy, Donovan Kirk, Dwayne Collins.
I had
Malcolm. Okay, there it was. I was like, how come no one said Dwayne Collins? I had him.
Tanya, Jakiri, Anthony King, Gary Hamilton. I had a lot of guys that we didn't.
This is my question. There was no way you were like picking Gary Hamilton. Like it was never gonna fall down that far, right?
I liked him. He was fun.
No, it's not. He was a good player, but you know we have like better bigs, right? So it's kind of That's why I kind of stopped. No love for Elton Tyler. I almost picked him, and you don't even know who I'm talking about. This is fantastic. These guys. When you look up at the banners and you see 98, 99 Big East champions, or 99, 2000 Big East champions, Sweet 16, these names. That did that.
Back in my day.
I'm sad. When did we decide we couldn't pick current players? When was this a thing?
I thought that was a given.
No, I didn't know that. That was definitely not a given.
I mean, if you want to throw, we'd have to redraw it, so never mind, because I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I would have taken Chris Watson then. I'm not even joking.
I mean, I think. But yes, you are joking. I think more seriously. I think Nigel.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know that wasn't a given. I didn't know.
I can't believe it took that long for it to come up. I guess the two best players off last year's team left, so they got picked. So.
Well, yeah. Well, you took Isaiah in round 1, and I took Jordan.
So I took Angel Rodriguez because, after I could have taken. I just didn't. I wanted to avoid just drafting the 1980, 98, 99 teams that went and that was the only team that beat Connecticut the year they won the championship and stuff. It's just
no, I made it a point to draft players from the early 2000s.
I know, but I knew you no one else took a player off those teams.
Rice, Height, and Diaz were all on my list, and then I decided to go with Height over Guillermo.
Yeah, I guess
because of defensively, and I don't know.
Guillermo was a better player. In Miami, Height was a better player in the pros, so it's one of those things, right?
It's hard.
But I knew I could have the difference with me is I didn't think, and this was proven out, that you guys would go back into the 90s and pull several players that were very good players here. So I intentionally avoided just doing that because I easily could have taken Vernon Jennings way higher, but I was and then not taken Angel or something because someone else would have taken it if I didn't. But anyway, I'm very happy.
I don't know. I was pretty much set on taking Kenny in the second round.
Yeah, but I guess my thinking is
I don't know that Matt would have taken Angel. So if it had come back to the third round, I may have taken Angel.
Well, honestly, I would have taken Angel because I took Shane. I thought about taking Angel just to have you have another scrappy point guard that plays defense coming in, and it would kind of fit the play style.
He was gone by the time you came off.
Well, no, but it would have been something round 6 or 5 because if I already have Shane, You know what I mean?
Well, that's why. So on my board, I had like 3 point guards, and I had Quan as 4, but I had Larkin, Angel, and Vernon Jennings, and I knew no one was going to pick Vernon Jennings, so I could have. But then I'm like, I don't want to just draft the 98, 99 Big East champions. It's just like, hey, look at this team Leonard Hamilton assembled 25 years ago. So I purposely took Angel so we could have some variance there.
No, I think the first round is like 3 of the greatest players to have played at Miami. Like in the 2000s at least.
I will say, Matt, James Jones going in front of Tim James, criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Honestly, the James Jones pick surprised me. That surprised me a lot.
I think James Jones is a baller, man. Maybe I'm thinking of it too much because of like NBA career and stuff, but I just think, I mean, in terms of fit and whatnot, because I knew there wasn't going to be like, I mean, there's not that many 4 or 5 men that you can really choose from. And I liked what James Jones brought. So, I mean, it's the same thing what you did with Kenny Kaji, right?
Mm-hmm. Although you said you were going to take him if I didn't. So,
Yeah,
I definitely
well, I
wasn't
didn't
taking James Jones in the 3rd round.
Hell yeah, I was taking James Jones.
If I didn't take Kenny Kaji, do you not take Sheldon or do you not take James? Because you said you would have taken Kenny there.
I would have taken. So if you didn't take Kenny, is that what you're saying?
Would you? Yeah, if I didn't take Kenny, so in saying you
I
took
would have
Kenny,
taken Kenny. I would have taken Kenny and Sheldon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so James Jones was kind of your replacement for.
Yeah, that was like my replacement. Yeah.
I will say my top 4, my first 4 picks were all guys that were like at the very, very top of my board. So I'm very happy with that. Maybe even my top 5.
I didn't even put Jordan Miller on my board because I assumed one of you would take him. It's like really high. So I was just like, there's no point.
Matt's reaction when I was talking about it before I took him.
I can't believe he lasted that long, but again.
There's a lot of great players.
You all need to Google Tim James. That's the lesson from this entire draft.
I've heard of Tim James.
I'm not going to take someone, though, that I didn't watch their,
I'm telling you. That was like, because I would have taken Jordan Miller as a 4. But, I mean, Tim James was there. But that
in my starting lineup, I don't know. I don't really have a 5. I guess Jordan.
I can play so many different ways. I love this team.
I've got 3 guards and a stretch 4 and a 3/4.
Yeah, I can basically play any which way you want.
So, is anyone still left in the chat?
There's people watching on the stream. Jazz did text me and say the chat is really delayed, so I don't know if it's worse than normal.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if it's worse than normal because it's always delayed. But
yeah.
Anyway, I like
curious
my draft.
as to what people think.
Yeah, I guess. Does anyone regret any of their picks?
No. All the guys I picked were all guys on my board. It's not like I was like searching for somebody last second.
The only person I'm thinking. No. Actually, no.
Anybody want to do any trades?
Hell no. I love my team. I honestly do. Like, obviously, I'm older and I watched these guys play because they were in school when I was there. But, like, I intentionally picked some of the newer ones because, like, Elton Tyler, like, averaged a double-double as a power forward here. I didn't pick him because he was on the same team with Tim James and John Salvin. So I was like, I'm not just going to run that team. Johnny Helmsley was the shooting guard, the leading scorer on that team, and I didn't pick him. So I was intentionally, like, trying to spread it around. But there's some great freaking players we just totally ignored here because you two people are too young.
Hey, I picked Darius Rice. He goes way back. Round 4 was stacked. Some of the best all-around ball players Miami's ever had come through the program. So round 4 is Davon Reed, Jordan Miller, and John Salmons. Interesting mix.
Stupid Bill Self.
Anybody in the
ruined my
chat
Biggie
wanna-
streams.
Anybody in the chat want to say whose team they like the best? Just curious.
I mean, it's my team. There's no doubt here.
Well, Vish, I feel like you're going to be at a disadvantage because you.
I don't care. I don't care. Anyone that has followed this program.
I'm throwing that out there. I'm
have.
defending you. I'm
I
defending
don't care.
you, bro.
I don't care. They can all vote. I don't care. You can look at the note.
I do know. I have the best walk on. Stratton is a legend.
I wonder what Orlando Gonzalez is up to. He's from Miami too. He's probably like still living down there.
Who?
My walk on.
I don't even think my walk-on's name is spelled correctly.
I mean, you didn't know exactly what it was. I don't think I'll take the blame on the John Salmons. I will not take the blame on that. What are you like, Harrington?
I think the walk-on edition is the best part of the draft. I think that was a great idea.
Arrington. I don't know how it's Arrington. I forgot how you pronounce it.
I mean, you gotta.
What year did he play? I can look it up. Want me to look it up?
It was like 2020, 2019. It was, yeah. He played with Keith Stone and
Oh, Matt, how did you not take Keith Stone? I should have taken him.
It's too many guys. Too many guys. If we had another round, I would probably take him.
I mean, there was still like I was debating actually like the last pick. I wasn't sure I wanted to plug my bench. I was debating Dwayne Collins because I feel like you could feed the ball into him off the bench. Like if we're struggling to hit shots, all right, we'll just run some post play. But I figure you can do that with DeJuan too. But yeah, that last pick.
Oh, it's Willie Harrington. It's Herenton.
Spell that again.
Herenton. There you go.
Really worthless addition to this draft, by the way.
Haven't?
I said that was a completely this whole walk-on thing.
Oh, look at you're getting a vote.
Well, because people.
That's because you talked it up so much during the draft.
I mean, if you watched, there's some egregious misses. I'm just gonna throw these names out there so people know we know they exist. But Mario Bland, Elton Tyler, Jazz mentioned Steve Edwards, Johnny Helmsley. Like these are legends, but that just before Melissa.
We did preference before, like I stopped looking at names. Like
no, I don't want. We are a Miami basketball podcast. Yes, we are aware that these people exist.
Yeah, me and Matt went more with recency bias.
Well, I mean, it's not even recency bias. It's just like I guarantee you, someone else could hop in the chat and pick people from like the 80s. I'm sure there were some great players there as well that like. Even though the team wasn't great, that they're like, how come you not pick this guy? It's just, I'm literally 5 years older than Melissa, and that's where that team filled in.
we didn't draft Rick Barry.
Oh, it's only there were rules, and it was only after only players after we brought basketball back in the 80s were eligible. So Rick Barry and Jazz mentioned Dick Hickox earlier too. He also current
players were also not eligible because I tried to pick
which after Melissa tried to make an illegal pick.
I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know that was a rule.
Should have sneaked that one.
That was like, oh, that was obvious. I'm like, no, it wasn't. I didn't know. So. I
think it makes sense to not pick current players because their career is not done here. Like, I mean,
yeah.
What if Norchad's like first team All ACC next year or something? It's not a fit for.
Well, then I could have said I knew it. From early on, why wasn't I allowed to pick a current player? Why was that even a rule?
She's just really upset that she can't put Norchad next to Kenny Kaji.
I am very upset. I was looking forward to that. To that, you know. Can you imagine Norchad, Kenny, and then on the wings you've got like Jack, Bruce.
I almost want to throw Norchad your team, except it would undo like several rounds of this draft because it's not like it was your last pick, just because like.
Well, were any of you drafting Darius Rice? Because that's where I was drafting Norchad.
Not a chance.
Matt.
Well, if I knew Norchad was available, I would have taken him sooner because it would have fit with my team.
I mean, that's
he wasn't on my board.
He was accidentally on my board, but like I wouldn't have picked him. I had Reggie.
I had multiple players from last season on my board because I didn't know that was a rule.
I had Reggie higher anyway. But I would love to see Reggie and Norchad go at it in the post.
I'm very
Fun,
upset that I couldn't draft
fun.
Norchad.
Fun game.
If Norchad's ever on the show, he will know that I tried to draft him and you all yelled at me.
Didn't yell at you. It's just like.
And also, if Jordan is ever on the show, I will make it known that I drafted him and not you, Matt.
Oh, you think that I'm gonna have him on this show with you after you drafted him? That's so funny. It's gonna be a day that you can't make it, and it's just me and Vish.
Matt, did we not have an amazing show last week with Julian? Like,
Yeah,
was it not the best
great.
show of buckets
But that
ever?
was last week.
You're bitter, bro. You're bitter.
I am bitter.
I will say
sitting-
the ones just looking at this that's like completely I did not see getting drafted were Darius. I didn't see that one coming, and then
How would you? Why would you not have Darius on your board?
Just based on like the time I was in school here, it's no.
Okay.
Just to be blunt, like there's significantly better. I would say players that can. So this is where I got into the whole thing on Kenny Kaji too, right? Like there's just so many players that contributed so much more to the program overall, and not through necessarily Darius's fault. He got Perry Clark. Like his entire career, Perry Clark was the coach. So what are you gonna do? But like, yeah, if I was taking a 4 out of that era, I would have taken Elton Tyler 100 times out of 100.
No, Darius Rice. Good stuff.
Averaged a double-double.
Yo, I'm bringing him
Defend
off
like
the
a
bench,
madman.
bro. I'm
Defend
bringing
like a
him off the bench. That's a deep bench.
I mean,
That's the all defense bench.
It's such a different era, but man, this is so Leonard Hamilton ball back in the 90s was literally like just start a fight. And everything was like we would win games like 55-47. Like it was all defense. Like it's just the basketball isn't played like that anymore. It's just like if you watch like those old Knicks Heat games, like the highlights, it's like hitting the winning shot to get to 80. Like that's how basketball was played back then. So it's just a completely different. But yeah, defense was not really what Darius is a shooter. He's like, I think the way you would use him here is instant offense off the bench. Like, oh, we're struggling to shoot. Get Darius out there.
He was tall.
Yeah, 6'10", 6'11".
Gives me some height. It's good. I like it.
Is he playing center? Because
he
he was playing center on your team.
Huh?
What's up?
Matt?
Didn't we see him at the Final Four?
Yeah, he was at Dre's restaurant.
Yeah, he was tall.
Yeah, no, he's 6'6". I mean, well, now that we got the measurements out of our current team, he was listed at 6'10" in college.
My only true center on my team is Jimmy.
I mean, he was a power forward.
I've used him as a center though.
Anthony King was a center on those teams, right?
Anthony King was on my board.
I didn't. I mean, I could have. Again, I could have just picked Mario Bland, but there was a. You guys should have researched like 5 years back further. You would have seen a treasure trove of talent sitting there. But Anthony Lawrence is the one that really blew me away. I did not. He was not on my board.
Okay. No. This is the thing you guys aren't thinking of. I think that you guys aren't thinking. I'm thinking of this as like a game. Like we're playing back and forth. Anthony Lawrence is a guy similar to Jordan Miller. Doesn't need plays for him. He can shine in his role. He's going to do the dirty work. That's my thought process.
But he's not Jordan.
Yeah.
No, so Jakiri was definitely on my board. I thought about taking him, and then I took Jimmy instead.
Yeah,
that might be a little bias on my part.
I mean, I have essentially 2 players that can play center, and so I think I'm good on bigs. But yeah, you two kind of shied away.
Me and Matt are doing a lot of small ball for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Julian. I've got a few 4s on my team. But no, I thought about taking Jakiri, but at the end, I really wanted to take Rob Height. Like I wanted to go with like a what the F pick at the end. So.
Well, after were you gonna? Trey. I was about to say you were gonna take him, weren't you?
I was gonna take Trey. I didn't think Trey would get drafted. I figured I could save him till the end. And then when he took him, I'm like, all right, let me just go with like a dude I really enjoyed watching that necessarily no one else would pick. And it was nice watching. I like Rob Height was there my freshman year with Guillermo Diaz. So I was like, oh, I'm going to take one of them. And I went with Height.
Yeah, I had Guillermo higher on my board, but didn't need
Just
to.
depends.
To actually, it's similar logic to the one Matt used. I wanted someone off the bench that would just shoot when they were open and not need the ball in their hands to create. So that's why I took Trey McKinney-Jones.
Rob Height's kind of an all-around dude.
Yeah, no, he can do the spot up shooting. Guillermo needs the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. He absolutely needs the ball. I was like,
I don't think Guillermo would be happy with coming off the bench. So, and then once my team's up big because it's all offense and we're up like 30 points, then I can put in Stratton and everyone will go happy because he was a very popular walk-on. At least I know how to spell my walk-on's name.
I mean, I don't think that
Bro, you're the one that came up with the walk-on thing.
I mean, what is this?
About?
Like,
yeah, like
do some research. Y'all are fans of the team. You don't know the walk-on.
Told us like an hour before the show.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? I was at work because
it wasn't an hour. It was a couple. It was 2 or 3 hours before.
I know. I'm at work.
You think I don't have a Rolodex? So first of all right. God, I'm already forgetting the name. The dude that entered the portal from this year's team are like, wait, I thought that guy was a
Osterbrook.
Yeah, Osterbrook. Like, we didn't even know if he was a walk-on or not. So how are we naming walk-ons?
Jonathan Stratton is like the most famous walk-on of all time in Canes Hoops history.
Famous in what?
You literally
context?
just wanted to do the walk-on draft so you could do that.
I know. Like, what are we doing?
I thought you were going to take Stratton because everybody knows who he is. Yes.
Okay,
everyone knows who he is. Julian mentioned him in the show last week. He mentioned Quigtar and Stratton.
You're using the word everyone. And I feel like probably misusing it.
Oh my gosh, guys. How do you not know the walk-ons? Come on.
I don't know. This was an all-time Canes draft. So I focused on, multiple time first team all Big East Tim James instead of
I like how Vish is plugging his Tim James pick literally everything.
I mean, it's so egregious. Like, by the way, those other things in the Raptors.
You drafted 2 players before him. So
I know because I knew. I mean, I feel like we could do this over again. Someone else would pick him now, so I could never get away with this again. But like,
you guys want to do another draft where you can't pick any of the players we just picked? Like, we'll do it like in another show at a later date.
Wait,
I can actually run another team out here.
Do another draft, but we can't pick any of the players we just picked. But like at a later date, we'll do another draft, but we can't pick any of the players that we picked now that are picked now.
Okay, so we're just doing an additional.
Yeah,
that might be a 5-rounder or something. I mean, I could go another 10 deep just because, like, again, I have more to pull from.
I'd have to do some more research because I stopped at the year 2000.
I advise you to go back and check out our Big East champions #2 seed.
I feel like Vish would be at an advantage because me and Matt didn't watch it that far back.
I mean, I was at an advantage here. I think if Tim James had played 10 years later, he would have been one of the first-round picks. But also, you can't do that because part of the reason he's a legend is he came to this program and it was complete ass.
So here I'll throw this question at you guys. Looking at the other 2 teams of like the other 2 teams that you didn't players that you didn't draft, what's one guy you wish you would have taken?
Like earlier, or what do you mean? Like someone else
like
drafted him?
Looking at my team and Vish's team, what guy do you wish you would have taken?
Well, who do you think, Melissa?
You already know who it is. He real time.
Yeah, are you just trying to rub this in again?
Besides Jordan. That was not me trying to rub it in. I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, like, I wasn't gonna take Kenny Kaji first pick, so like I wouldn't have gotten him.
I think for her question, the draft order doesn't matter. Just if you could steal someone off of someone.
Oh, then yeah, Kenny Kaji. Yeah, 100% Kenny Kaji. If it's not Jordan Miller.
Matt just wants my team. Vish.
I don't even know if I would take.
I'm
him.
good with mine.
I mean, obviously, like I could go be like, oh yeah, I'll take Larkin, but like that's kind of stupid because it's just like adding a stack player to a. Like he was a pick away from getting.
I wanted Cam. I was gonna take Cam with my next pick, so I was sad about that. So I'm gonna go with Cam Auguste for mine.
Yeah, I think actually point guard's not my weakest position because I have two good ones. What's my weakest position? It's probably the setter, just because that's Miami's weakest position. So it's not like I took the starting setter in
but I don't
2013 team,
I don't
and then
think,
Matt took the backup. So
I think it's pretty fitting that like me and Matt like drafted small ball because that's what we've been playing for years. So I don't think that's coincidental at all.
I mean, we haven't been playing it that long. Our 2013 team like pounded people. It was the complete opposite.
Well, yeah, because they had Julian, Reggie, and Tonye. Like, I mean.
Well, Tonye didn't play that much. It was Kaji, right? He was the 4.
Well, Kaji was the 4.
Right, but
Reggie was the initial starter. He got hurt. Julian got inserted, and then Julian finished the year, and they brought Reggie off the bench.
No, Reggie.
But you couldn't bench Julian. Julian was Reggie got hurt.
I'm almost 100% sure Reggie was starting after that Duke game. That was the game he came back in. Off the bench in that game, but eventually he was a starter again. Then he got injured again and missed the Marquette game.
No, I thought Julian started the rest of the year and they were bringing Reggie off the bench.
I don't. Here we go.
I could be wrong, but
live Googling time. You might be right. So I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm instead going to look it up.
Yeah. I do remember because I was at the Duke game when Reggie went to the scorers table to check in because he had been out for however many weeks. And like they had kept it so secret that he was going to come back. And so when he got up to go to the scorers table, the whole crowd erupted. Like they were chanting Reggie for a good few minutes.
So I think you're right.
It was very exciting.
Because Reggie only started 9 games that year.
Listen, you got to understand, that's like one of my favorite seasons of all time. Like up until this year, I always look back at that 2013 season. Like that was it. That was the shit. Like that was the best year that I'll ever witness in Canes basketball. And then this year happened, but I don't know what it was about that team. I guess because they were all like seniors and stuff, and so we knew that like that whole team was gonna be gone the next year. It was just so much fun to watch. So I remember when we lost to Wake Forest after we had moved up into the rankings into number 2. Oof. I just remember being devastated after we lost to Wake.
Got the shit beat out of us in that game. Blew us out.
Julian talked about that when we talked to him last week, by the way, too.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched the interview, go check it out.
There you go.
One of our best shows. Of course. And I love it. I love it. Like when we had Coach Meyer on, like it's so fun to watch people who have been involved in the program or are involved in the program and like how much they love talking about Canes hoops. Like it's just a lot of fun. So next week's show is going to be Wednesday.
I think so, yes.
I don't know if we're going to have a guest. I don't think we are. We're working on a guest. We may end up having 2 shows.
Oh, we are.
Because, huh?
Oh, we are. Melissa always gives me homework. What the heck?
Well, it's the we and everyone have been misused now in the last 5 minutes. Everyone knows who Stratton is, and we are working on getting a guest.
What I thought, but I gave the disclaimer last week that when I said when I say we are going to work on it, it's really Matt. I did say that last week.
She did.
I mean,
she did.
All right. I had a gun with one really big bullet in it, and I shot it. It is now Matt, the paper's empty, and I got nothing to relay.
All right, hold on. Let's give Matt his flowers. Hold on. So Matt is working really hard at getting some former players on the show. There was or is a possibility that we may have somebody on soon. It won't be next Wednesday, but if we announce another show and we have 2 in 1 week, it's because someone became available and we're doing like an extra show.
We'll talk logistics on some of this because I think if it's like a weird timing, we'll probably just
it's a timing thing.
No, but I mean, I think if it's a weird time, we probably wouldn't do the thing live. We just record the interview and play it out over the normal show.
Oh, okay. Either that too. I don't know.
So
go ahead, Matt.
I didn't tell you guys yet, too. By the way, a certain former player that's on my team actually texted me back and said that he's a little busy these next 2 weeks, but he would be open to doing it like 3 weeks from now. So
Can you put it? Can you type it in the private chat? Can you put it in the private chat?
Hold on a second. We're gonna get professional around here. You don't need to type it in the private chat. You enter it into the damn schedule. I spent all that time putting together so you can enter in.
No, but I don't know now.
Well, I have to confirm the actual day.
You can put it in there as tentative, right?
Right, then DM me on Twitter, Matt, because Vish is being stupid.
No, I'm going to put it in the show schedule, so you have to look at it.
Yeah, look at the show schedule. That way you don't have to say, I think we're going on Wednesday next week. No, we're going on Wednesday. That's what's
I'm going to literally do it right now, too. And if you
I took Melissa's work schedule.
I wore a formal hoodie. I wore a formal hoodie this week, all right? Just to prep for the draft.
What are we talking about?
Well, I don't own a tie. But look, this is my favorite hoodie. Like, isn't like these are two-tone sleeve hoodies, the best.
I just put it in there, Vish, if you want to look.
I mean, I think I know who it is based on our previous, but.
Oh, snap. For real? Dang. Yeah. Oh, I was going to make a comment, but I'll say it after the show.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it in the private chat.
I think you're going to guess someone else, Vish, but
I was wrong. Much like
I'm working on that one too.
You guys, the name that he put, you definitely don't want to miss. That's going to be epic.
Melissa, you didn't have to put that in the private chat. I already said I drafted him.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
So we all know it's not Jordan Miller.
Yeah, you won't be there.
It's definitely no. I mean, look, I don't want to spoil it. I'll just let everyone know. It's Jonathan Stratton.
No.
Everyone knows who he is. Look, we've been.
No, it's my team.
No,
it's Willie Arrington.
That would be so exciting for me, though. That would be amazing. You all don't care about these things, but he was a walk-on. He was awesome. The Jonathan Stratton chants were legit.
So I think this certainly risked infecting my team, so I guarded against it and made sure I drafted some modern players. But you tend to idealize your college years, and I feel your descriptions of why he's alleged to have a lot to do with what you were doing in the student section.
It was fun. It's the walk-on pick. Give me a break. It's not like I picked them first.
Well, okay, but you created the category.
You created your own round to pick him.
Listen, none of these players played when I was there except for Jimmy Graham. Just letting you know. And
Wait, you went twice.
Walk on, but,
is that true?
Oh, actually, Rob Height. When I was a freshman, Rob Height was there. But Jimmy Graham was there when I was a student. That's it.
None of these were here the second time you went to school there?
I don't talk. No, grad school was 2016 or 2015 and 2016. I don't know the years. I'd have to look at it.
I think Bruce Brown.
Was Bruce and Lonnie there at that time? But I don't really consider my grad school years as me being at the school. My undergrad years were the time where I was in the student section and stuff. I had season tickets during all of these players' times, but
I was for several of these players. I watched them play in Miami Arena.
I feel like Matt's never gonna let me live it down about drafting Jordan.
You don't realize, Melissa, I'm a very petty person. So any chance I get now.
Could you imagine if you had taken Kenny before me? I would have drafted Jordan right away.
Oh, I wish I did now. I wish I took him first round.
I'm so glad I took him second round because in my head I'm like, I don't think he's coming back. If I don't think he'll be there if it comes back to me. So
let me ask you a question. If Larkin was there, Melissa, would you have taken him?
What first? At number 2?
Yeah.
It's possible. Honestly, our top 3 picks were all guys I considered taking 1. But really, in my head, I was the big debate was, do I take Kenny first?
So, for me, Larkin 100% drove the Angel Rodriguez pick because I wanted a point guard, the score, because my other point guards are more defensive, and I wanted a scoring point option there, and he was really the only one left. I'm actually wondering
Bruce plays point guard in the NBA, so I'm good at point.
I mean, okay, if we want to. There's no positions in the NBA anymore, but if you want to, but so I'm curious if Larkin is there, if I would have convinced myself I'd still have a point guard, then 4 picks later there wouldn't have been one.
Well,
But since Larkin was already gone, I was like, I gotta get Angel, otherwise I'm gonna have to play a completely different style.
honestly, Bruce probably plays point for me with Jack at the shooting at the 2, and then I don't even know if I would start Lonnie. I mean, I took Lonnie at 5, but I don't know. I might start Jimmy at the 5. Like do like Bruce, Jack, Jordan, Kenny, and Jimmy. That'd probably be my starting lineup. And then bring Lonnie, Darius, and Rob off the bench. Just because I need a big.
Yeah, I don't know what the only position I'm not sure of, like, because the first 5 I would start, except I might start Vernon Jennings instead of Angel Rodriguez, depending on who you two are playing. Because if you just have an offensive point guard, I'll put the clamps on.
I think I have like 5 guards that are 6'5" exactly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Elijah Lofton is announcing his commitment at 9:00, the 4-star tight end. And the coaches have all been putting up the hurricane warning thing on Twitter. So
well,
my
our
assumption is he's
boy
coming to
Danny
Miami.
Gillette will be very pleased with that. So
What's up, Jeff? Jeff is an OG of the show. So
Shout out, Jeff.
what up, Jeff?
yeah, Vernon.
Oh,
Jennings is
also,
a
Jeff,
defensive beast.
I may have gotten a little
Yeah.
snippy at you on Twitter when you were talking about Bruce Brown winning an NBA championship right after they beat the Heat, and I was very upset. So no disrespect was meant there. I was just very sad. But I am happy for my boy Bruce. Like, I drafted him. But I was rooting for Bruce, but I hate that he won it versus my hometown team. So it was hard. So especially in that fashion, like we didn't really have a chance. So there's that. Do we have any other usuals in the chat?
I mean, Jeff.
Max
obviously.
popped in for a minute. I wonder if
Wait,
Max
so we actually,
watched.
we never actually did. So I guess Melissa, you kind of went there, but like, so your top 5 are your starting 5, and you too, Matt, because we never actually. We never actually did.
Yeah.
We're gonna analyze this and put together our lineups, and we never.
Yeah, my starting 5 would be Bruce at the 1, Jack at the 2, Jordan at the 3, Kenny at the 4, and Jimmy at the 5. Lonnie has my 6th man.
So I think I could switch up my starting lineup to play depending if I'm playing Vish or.
Well, so I guess
Melissa.
So why don't we start with, since Melissa gave her starting 5, how would you match up with that? Because I think
Melissa, it would probably just be my top 5 then.
You'd go small ball.
Yeah.
Who would guard
100%.
Jimmy?
Oh, you're
James?
starting Jimmy. I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Said Bruce at the 1, Jack at the 2, Jordan at the 3, Kenny at the 4, Jimmy at the 5.
And Jazz is right. The chat is like really delayed to.
Yeah, no, Jeff, I was just very, very sad at the moment. So I was happy for Bruce eventually. It just took me a few minutes. And I was at work too. So I was already like not enjoying life. So, but yeah. Okay, go Matt.
I'd probably still go top 5, to be honest with you.
All right. Just have James Jones guard Jimmy.
Which is actually not a bad matchup. He's got length. Doesn't have girth, but he's got length.
Question, would you put Shane on Jack or Bruce?
I would put Shane on whoever's bringing up the ball, so it'd be Bruce. And he's going to be up there giving him problems the entire game.
Bruce
I'd probably, and then I would put, because then that's the thing. I would switch off Davon and Durant on Jack. Like I'd alternate them throughout the game.
So I guess the only position I'm not sure of who I'm starting against both of your teams really is the point guard, because they're totally different styles. If I want to go defense, it's definitely Vernon. If I want to go offense, it's Angel.
You got to put an athlete on Kenny because he can do everything. He'll shoot, he'll drive.
Are you forgetting who I picked in the 3rd round?
Bring it.
I have absolutely no worries, by the way. That's the cheat code here because
So what
I
you
think
put? You put Reggie on Jimmy?
yeah, and I think I think Reggie's a better basketball player to be honest, but I think that's more of a wash. But then, I mean, Tim James is gonna cook and defend. Like it's the mismatch. Yep.
Interesting. The
18
Jordan
and 8
Miller,
as a
the
senior.
Jordan Miller versus Sheldon McClellan matchup.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sheldon McClellan would cook him. I love my boy, but
I mean, he's kind of one of the things that happened.
on one, he's not stopping Sheldon Mack. Not at all. I love my boy. I love my boy.
It's kind of interesting because to Matt's point, right? By playing small and playing him on like bigs, he was able to use his wingspan and his athleticism to bother them. If you put him against like a traditional like all court wing player, it's a much more difficult card for him.
Well, and let's be honest,
Sheldon is
yeah, Jordan is more of a he's a really good help side defender. He's never out of position. He knows how to play passing lanes well. If he's constantly on the ball and Sheldon is just giving it to him, like it's a different game.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel good about my point guard position, but I don't.
If I was you, I wouldn't put Jordan on Sheldon, to be honest.
Well, then, I mean,
I'd probably put Bruce.
Well, put Jordan on James Jones.
Yeah, I think Jordan could guard. I
gotta ask Melissa, if you're playing against Matt's team, why are you starting Jimmy Graham?
Yeah,
it feels like.
Well, yeah, no. If I'm playing, I just named my starting lineup before you said, "Oh, let's start it."
Yeah, she said it first.
Okay. So would you?
I said it before.
Then? Would you match up? Then?
Yeah, I mean, you match up more for sure. You could throw. I would either throw Lonnie or Rob Hyde in there.
Yeah, I don't like any of my point guards trying to guard Bruce.
I feel like Rob Hyde's kind of like my utility guy.
How tall was Vernon Jennings?
Like he can shoot, but he can play defense. So like I feel like I could bring him in and just have him match up with somebody and then get some offense out of him if I need to. But he's definitely not the first guy I'm going to on offense. He's there just to be annoying on defense.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to start Vernon Jennings.
Anyone thinks Shane should have – so Jeff says, anyone thinks Shane should have played one more year for the Canes? He got injured right away after the NBA draft. I just thought one more year could have helped him to be more NBA ready physically. The problem with that is, yeah, he could have stayed, but everybody else on that team was leaving.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't any way to improve his draft stock because all he would have had left from that team of players who got meaningful minutes was Ryan Brown. Reggie, Julian, Durand, Trey, Kenny, all were out of eligibility. So,
and how often do you have upperclassmen like that? Because he would have been a junior, right? After the next year, if he would have played.
Yeah.
How often do you see them going in the lottery or like high lottery?
Yeah.
He got picked in the 18th.
He was drafted in the first round. You don't turn that down because there's no way you're improving your draft stock because you don't have any help around you the following season. And then he fractured his foot in summer league.
I think it was. I'm trying to remember.
What's up, Anthony? And
What's up, Anthony?
Matt, you're two people apparently, and so is Melissa. And I'm only one person. What kind of bullshit is this?
We put commas in front of every single name. Yes, Jeff is confirming that he did hurt his. Yeah. I don't blame him for leaving when he did. I don't think you're upping your stock anymore. And he was a projected first round pick.
And he there was a very good chance, given like Melissa said, the returning talent, that the team would not play as well, and he would have been more exposed and slipped out of the first round.
Because our main guys the next year was Ryan Brown and Garius Adams. So, although Garius probably would have gotten some time, but he was hurt that 2012-2013 year, no?
I think so.
I think Garius was injured that year.
He was injured.
I think that's how Ryan Brown ended up getting so much time. But...
You don't have to apologize.
Oh, my voice says automatically adds commas. Okay.
We were just joking, dude. Don't worry about it.
Well, we were just laughing. Anything to Vish will find any reason so that me and Matt don't pick on him.
You can pick on me. I don't give a shit. I've got a super team here.
So
good.
I will say
this is too nice. I'm not gonna pick on him.
You know what? I just Googled this because I wasn't entirely sure. I feel like I have to start Vernon Jennings. He's 6'4". He's a defensive wizard. I can match up against Larkin and Bruce Brown, and I'm okay with it. So
versus Vish's team, I'm definitely starting Jimmy just to have a body in the paint. But I feel like versus Matt, it's just gonna be a clinic of small ball. For each of you guys, who is your 3-guard lineup?
I mean, we're kind of figuring out our starting 5 right now and debating.
I mean, I have a 4-guard lineup.
I don't think I play a 3-guard lineup.
I know. I was gonna say you have your first few picks are guard. Well, not James Jones, but I mean, you can easily. I mean, the rest of them you can all technically start at the 1 or the 2. I think. I mean, Jordan's a wing. But I mean, 3 guards. McClinton. I don't know. McClinton, Brown, and Walker are all on the floor at the same time. Would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not even playing 3 guards. It's Vernon, Zay, Salmons, Tim James, Reggie Johnson.
For me, my first 4 picks are automatic starters, and then depending on which team I'm playing, you either plug in Lonnie or Jimmy.
Yeah, I just need a defensive point to match up with Larkin and Bruce Brown since you're going to run him at point, so that's why Vernon's starting.
I just feel like Bruce would be a better point guard than Jack. Just in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I think that
Jimmy
fits his play style.
Jimmy only played 1 year for
he
the
played
football.
1 year of football. He played 4 years of basketball.
Yeah. And my defense, I wanted to take Norchad, but I wasn't allowed. Which I really wish I would have known that sooner because it affected how I was drafting. Thinking I could still take him, but oh well.
So let's see now off the bench. I got McKinney Jones. That's good if I need someone to just knock down some J's. DeJuan can play the 4 and the 5, so there's any foul trouble or stuff going on. He slides right into either of those positions. Oh, and then I'm bringing Angel off the bench. This is good stuff here.
Yeah, Anthony. Jimmy only played 1 year of football, so my memories of Jimmy are watching him play at that time the Bank United Center.
I would say most. If you watch like
he was number 00.
And I think if you watched, if you're old enough and you watched both like Miami football and basketball back then, Jimmy Graham is a basketball player to us. It's not even a question of him being. I don't even think he was the starting tight end on those teams until like halfway through the year. That was a Randy Shannon team. I think 2009. That team, and I think he only started like partway through the year, so he wasn't. I mean, his impact was definitely more on the basketball court.
Anything else we need to discuss? We're going on 2 hours.
So do I have to play my home games at Miami Arena? Like, what's the rule here? Even though it doesn't exist anymore. It's such a different college experience than you.
When I started
taking the Metro Rail downtown.
When I started at Miami, I think it was still the Convocation Center.
Yeah, no, that arena got built when I was in school. We used to take the train downtown to Miami Arena to watch the team play. In fact, when we won the base, this was my freshman year, we beat St. John's in like double overtime in the last game, and the winner was going to win the conference, and we stormed the court at Miami Arena. That's why I'm like, it's like the same reason Melissa like loves those teams. It's like the same thing. I was like, I remember being on the Miami Arena court. Actually, Vernon Jennings was walking around with his like 1-year-old daughter. Her girl's is like 25 now.
So the year before I started there, my friend Paul, who I met at basketball games, he helped him and some of the guys that I ended up sitting with for a bit, helped Will Frisbee propose to his girlfriend, like with signs from the
Will
student
Frisbee.
section.
I actually considered having him, but I was like, I'm never gonna get that far down the list for this. Like,
Frisbee list. I had a lot of guys on my list.
Well, I mean, I there was a lot of people I consider. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this far down the list. But like for this draft part 2 that you want to do, there's definitely going to be some names there. But yeah,
So.
we're not doing another walk-on round on that thing. I'll tell you that. Right?
No.
Enough.
No, it's fun. We can redraft at some point again. Maybe do like every few months do a draft and see how our lineups change and what we do. But
I don't know that we need to do this every few months. I think the idea of like a remainder supplemental draft of like people that weren't picked is interesting, but I don't know that we need to redraft from scratch again.
No, it'd just be something fun to do like whenever, I don't know, maybe every year. We'll see how long this pod lasts.
I mean, it would be if we had to draft, it would be Coach L would be the number 1 pick, Leonard would be the number 2 pick, and
then whoever picked third
is screwed. Actually, I
don't know what we should have done is just included coaches within the draft and just been like draft your coach whenever you want.
Wow, that would have been.
Pretty sure Matt would have been like, all right, first pick, Coach L.
Yeah, then you'd have to go for Coach Ham because you can't get stuck with. Like, doesn't matter what players you have. Poor Darius, man.
Vish would have gotten stuck because Matt would have taken L. I would have taken Leonard Hamilton.
I would have 100% cheated then, just been like, Katie Meyer, screw you.
Or you might as well just take players at that point. Like,
I would have just taken. I would have taken an assistant coach.
I would have just cheated, picked Katie Meyer, and said you could kiss my ass.
I could have just taken like Chris Caputo. I could have just taken like Chris Caputo or someone. No one said it had to be a head coach.
There's such
a drop-off. That's what I said earlier to pick.
Yeah, I know, but there's such a drop-off from our 2 best head coaches to the third one on the men's side that this just like,
honestly, I probably would have taken Caputo over Leonard Hamilton just because Hamilton's currently coaching at FSU and I just can't have that on my team. That's gross.
Wow. You would have handed that right to Vish.
I know. This is I have such a market inefficiency.
Loyalties.
He coached Tim James and John Salmons and Vernon Jennings, so I know they'll work well together. Like that,
It's all right. Matt doesn't understand the loyalty thing. He didn't even draft like his supposed best friend. So
I was legitimately surprised.
I can't wait for that interview, Melissa, and for you to watch it on YouTube. and just cry as you look at the list of questions you didn't get to ask.
I did honestly think like you were going to.
I have a whole list of Jordan Miller questions
in the second round, especially after Kaji went, because I thought you'd play him at the 4.
Yeah, no, I thought about it, but
you had plenty of picks to take Jordan. It is not my fault.
I think what happened here, and again, I did the same thing, and I know Melissa did too, and so did you, Matt. Is didn't want to just pick from like the same era, so you went for James Jones because you're like. That's someone I remember from the NBA that played here a long time ago. That's the power forward, so I can take him.
Well, and
that's why Darius got picked again.
I like the skill set, the size, and whatnot. Because I mean, you look at a bunch of the guys on here, all the wing players and stuff, and they're the same size, like 6'5", 6'6".
You should have just taken Tim James, and I was so scared when you started.
I honestly
I blew it. I freaking blew it.
Vish, that's who I was thinking of when I was at that.
I thought as you were like winding it up there, then he said James Jones. I was like, thank God. 3 times all Big East, 98, 99 Big East Player of the Year, Big East All Freshman Team, 99 all Big East Tournament Team.
The most nervous I was is when Vish was doing his first 2 picks because I was really worried he was going to take Kenny.
He wasn't even on my board.
The top 3 picks though were all the guys that I was debating on. Like, because I said I was debating.
I might have taken Tim James number 1 if I didn't gamble that you 2 wouldn't take him. Fact,
it was a hard choice for me because Isaiah Wong definitely could have easily been my first pick too. Like Shane also, if you didn't take him, I
had the advantage.
All of our first picks could have easily gone first overall, depending on who was picking. So our first 3 picks definitely, yeah.
The snake.
I liked being in the middle. I didn't like having to do like 2 in a row. I liked having that middle pick.
I would say my position's definitely better than Matt's. Doing 1 pick and then having to wait for 4 to come around is.
Yeah, because I had no idea who's going to be there.
Yeah, so like I already knew who Matt had picked, and I knew I could take 2 in a row. So I got the third and the fourth pick. Like that was definitely better than like 1 and 6 and 7.
No, I think your 1 and 2 is a very good combo. Like Isaiah and Angel.
Unfortunately, the way you all lined up with your scoring, ball handling points, I'm going to start Vernon Jennings instead because I need defense. 3 steals.
Well, I don't have a true point. I don't have
seven dimes and 3 steals in the 90s. That's like double now. Yeah, no, but I mean, you're going to run Bruce Brown there, and Angel Rodriguez cannot guard Bruce Brown, so I have to start Vernon Jennings.
I mean, that's just. I think Bruce is a better. I think Bruce.
No, I get it. That's why I got to line up.
I would just like to say I have 2 of the top 10 steal leaders in Miami history. You want to guess who those 2 guys are?
Durant,
Shane
Scott.
and Durant.
It's not Shane. He didn't play long enough for him.
I don't know.
So it's definitely got to be Durant. And
who's the other one, Vish?
It's James Jones?
Nope.
He didn't play his freshman year much.
You're not going to guess it.
Davon?
Don't look it up.
No, I'm not looking.
Davon?
Looking.
Well, I mean, I can name your whole team. Just tell us.
It's on his team, so.
Anthony Lawrence.
I was thinking who played enough because James Jones didn't play at all as a freshman. Actually, he got into the NCAA tournament game and got eliminated and got injured. He got like wiped out by Tulsa on a fast break and like messed his knee up and missed the rest of it. Anyway, but he didn't start on that team anyway. But that game was a nightmare.
Anybody want to trade? Any trades?
No, I'm good. I think I'm going to pound you guys in the paint, and then also.
I think my team's going to score 100+ every game.
No chance. No chance.
Oh please! I got so many shooters on my team.
It doesn't matter.
I got so many shooters on my team.
I've got 2-way players. They're not just shooters. Like Salmon's can shoot,
and a great rebounder in Jimmy. Jordan's all around. He can do everything. Got Bruce handling the point. Kenny's the best stretch 4 ever. Like Jack is ridiculous. Like I have a great team.
I have no question. I'll be able to D them up.
You mean your team? You're not going to get out there and D them up, right, Vish?
Yeah. Well,
you're going to lace them up?
I mean, let's see. Is any of them old enough? I might be able to hang with Darius a little bit, except he's tall. He can shoot.
So I don't know if anybody in the chat recalls us talking about when the 3 of us are in the same city again that we were going to do a pod of us playing horse.
Yeah, we are going to play horse.
I'm telling you now, you guys are not. You guys are going to like massively lose.
Well, here's the thing: is Matt plays in a league. Matt plays in a league, so I think me and Vish are playing for second place because I don't think I've picked up a basketball in at least 3 or 4 years.
No, I don't. I haven't played hoops in forever, and so I don't care. I'll go embarrass myself. I don't give a shit.
Matt plays in a league, so I'm already expecting it to be embarrassing. Have I still been playing like every week like I used to like a few years ago, then I could probably put up a fight, but I don't really play anymore, so I'm definitely gonna be. I need to go get shots up somewhere before this happens. But I don't know when it's gonna happen. When are we all? We all live in different states.
Are we gonna play for a hoodie?
I don't know that we should put anything on the line because you're obviously gonna win. You play more often than the other 2 than me and Vish.
We can play for something.
I mean, me and Vish could play each other and play for something. Both of us.
We can play for something. Let's think of something to play for. I don't think clothing makes sense because we're all like we're.
Well, no, the mute button is whoever's producing it, and Vish isn't giving up that control.
There's a whole lot going on there, but anyway.
But when is this even going to happen in Phoenix next year when we meet up for the Final Four?
No, Matt comes to football games sometimes.
Yeah, not this season though.
Oh, you're not. Married life. Married life.
No, it's not married life. It's I just had a wedding and paid for it.
So it is wedding life.
So it is married life. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this will happen, and we'll think of something to play for.
That's why Matt was MIA for like the first month of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, we're doing the show, and then I wasn't here for the start of it.
Vish, can we go back full screen with us instead of staring at the draft the whole time?
I mean, I know you want to hide my draft because I dominated, but sure.
Whatever. I do like that jersey though, Matt. I mean, it's a great jersey.
If Melissa had gone back 5 more years, my entire draft would have imploded. It would have been over.
Thanks for repping my team, Matt.
Your team?
Your team?
You're wearing one of my players' jerseys.
Oh, okay, I get it. I was like, what a Miami basketball show. What are we talking about your team? But now I get it.
I'm gonna look at your schedule, Melissa, your work schedule, and I
You don't
can't
have my
wait
work
to text
schedule.
Jordan. It's
You
in the
don't have
chat.
it.
It's in the
I'm
chat.
pretty sure I only send it to Vish.
No,
No,
you
it's in the
probably
chat.
Have you?
somewhere.
Okay. You wouldn't actually do that. That would be actually really mean.
Keep it up. We'll see.
You do know I can switch shifts, right? And not say anything. And then I can just show up.
I'm gonna wait.
not that
I'm gonna
hard.
just. Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna tell.
I mean, you
Vish.
had 4 picks to take him.
Yeah, it's really your fault.
3 picks.
No, it's your
You
fault.
could've
I was really shocked you didn't take him second round.
It would be the same thing had he taken Kenny. So I understand his pain. Because I would have been heartbroken if he had taken Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a moment there when I thought you were taking Tim James, but you took James Jones instead.
I know.
But also, there's another player on your team, Julian, who I know is your boy. I wonder if he's still friends with Kenny because maybe we can get him on the show.
I mean, I can ask him, but yeah, I mean,
I took Jordan, so you're like, nah, I'm not gonna.
You sucked the life out of me. It's like, I guess I can ask someone. At this point, what's the difference? What's the point of life?
I didn't do it. I didn't take Jordan to piss you off. I took Jordan because he's a great player and I wanted him on my team, and he happened to still be there. I mean, you can't hate on him for wanting to
and you were able to piss me off.
But that wasn't my motive. I mean, I'm making fun of it now, but it wasn't my motive.
It was.
Go back and watch. I talk about all the reasons why I wanted Jordan.
Yeah, as soon as you started listing them, I was like, wow, I know who she's picking.
Lofton committed to the U. Good stuff. A four-star tight end.
Does he play hoops?
Yeah. Does he play hoops?
I mean, maybe, but he's probably not.
I mean, if he's a tight end, right?
Where is that ambulance? Is that ambulance outside mine, or is that coming from
No, that's
else?
me. I live right next to a fire station. It's the.
Okay. I was gonna say it sounds really loud for being 14 floors up. I'm like, that can't be me.
No.
I mean, I hear sirens all the time, but I'm in the middle of the city, so.
No, I can hear it, but it's usually not that loud.
But actually, this room is windowless and sound does not get in. So I'm like in an interior room.
Random question. Should I change the location and stream from the desk that I have in my room that I basically use as a drying rack currently?
I don't know why. Why do you want to change it?
I don't know, because I want to back. Like if I'm leaning back, then it's like really far away. So, just curious. What I need to do is I need to get some stuff on my wall behind my dining room table, and then stream from there.
Okay. Feels like a topic that could have been discussed off air, but.
Why not? I was changing the thing.
This is going to be a separate episode. Where should Melissa stream
just delete it. Where should I stream from? Hey, listen, my internet wasn't working last night when I got home from work, so there was a very large possibility that I was going to have to stream from a Starbucks today.
Hotspot your phone.
Huh?
Hotspot your phone.
Yeah.
I've never used a hotspot on my phone. Isn't that a lot of money? So they charge you for a 2-hour hotspot? That'd be a lot of money.
I've done much worse than 2 hours. It's not the timing; it's the data transfer, which video would be pretty heavy, but depends on what your plan is.
That would have been pricey. Honestly, for the first 3 years that I lived here, one of my neighbors didn't have their internet password protected, so I stole their internet for 3 years before I got my own. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Anyway,
anyone else? Is anyone still watching this? I feel like once it gets to the end of the show, people just don't care.
There are people. There's a view count. I feel like some people might have fallen asleep on the couch.
I feel like once the draft ended, we needed at least a good 20-30 minutes of
I'm just looking back at the draft here. I don't think there's not a single player on either of your teams where I'm like, oh no. But I think
Matt, he's literally talking so much trash.
No, I was going to explain it before you cut me off because I think we all have our favorites and you guys just didn't pick because it's not even necessarily the best player, right? It's kind of I really wanted that one guy. I think mine was probably some of the older ones because again, those are the ones I went to college with and you guys didn't pick any of them. If you had picked Tim James instead of James Jones, I would have been I completely messed this up. I had 2 picks. What did I do? Like the Jordan Miller one, you can't really blame yourself because by the time oh no, you can blame yourself. You took 3 players in front of him. But
How many times are you gonna bring up that I messed up on not picking Jordan Miller?
I was just
Vish brought
shocked
it
because
up,
you picked
not me.
another 4. Because you picked another.
Is
4.
one of these gonna end up in the new intro?
I don't think so. I'm not recutting that thing 50 times.
Okay.
Melissa already gave me like a page of notes to.
Well, Melissa wants you to update the intro for
I
the
know.
show.
I'm gonna do it like one more time.
We
that's
need
it.
to update the intro because we need. First of all, Matt, you're not in the intro that much. We need more of you in the intro.
I'm not important.
But no, it's because we cut the intro like a few weeks in, and you. Had
Yeah,
only
no,
done,
we're
like,
gonna
one or
and
two
yeah,
shows.
and when you were doing more.
And we
important things.
wanna include one of all 3 of us, and we need the one of me, you, and Julian, and me and you laughing about the Keystone remark that I made. I asked Vish to put that in like when the music's playing and it's just us
I know.
laughing.
I just have not had a chance to recut it. I did download all of the episodes that you would.
But I mean, you could take a clip from the draft and have our actual draft in the intro if you wanted to, like the spreadsheet. If you want, you don't have to.
It's not going to really display well. No one's going to know what the hell it is.
But I think you should maybe take a clip from like here because we're all in like you got the tie, Matt's got the jersey, I've got the formal hoodie. Like, or should I have the sunglasses on? I don't know.
you call it a formal hoodie as if it's like actually more. It's what you use as your form. It's not actually a formal hoodie.
It's my favorite hoodie, so to me, it's important.
It's like, well, again, keep in mind, like this is just a visual, right? There's not really sound happening here, which is why I'm like putting the draft up there. Like, people know what the
well, yeah, you see the visual, and like Vish is in a tie. People are like, why the hell was Vish wearing a tie with a hoodie?
I don't know. In the main show, until I'm waving a knife around, no one knows I was doing an unboxing.
Well, that's why
I ordered a mystery box from Dime Life as a bit.
That's why I want the clip of me and Matt laughing at you when you're not on the show because it's funny because we'll know what it's about. But
no, that's fine. That is going to get in there, but they're not even going to know it's your formal hoodie. I guess is my point. I'm the only one that looks like a dumbass, so it's not really that great of a clip.
Well, I mean, Matt looked weird without having Miami gear on when he first came on, but he.
Do you always have Miami gear on? I feel like you don't. I feel like Melissa might do, but no, Matt. You're not always wearing Miami gear. You just always had Shane Larkin looming over your shoulder, so it kind of.
Yeah, but I moved my room around, so that stuff is all in the corner over there. But I have some stuff I have to put up too, so I'm hoping I can do that. I have a Greg Rousseau signed jersey that I got to put up somewhere, and then I still have to put this somewhere. This Jordan Miller jersey, but I don't usually. I mean, I don't know why. It just worked out that I am not usually wearing Miami shirts when we do this.
Well, for me, it's Miami, so I'm generally not wearing hoodies unless I'm home. So I generally just throw one on for the show. But I have the interview hoodie.
Usually don't wear hoodies or a tie, but special. But my normal clothing is just wearing Miami shirts.
I have a Buckets T-shirt that I wore once.
More seriously, whatever I'm wearing on these shows is just whatever I was wearing at work that day. Usually,
that's how I am too.
Yes, except that's what I wear. What I wear at work.
Yeah, I know.
For this show, it's so different.
Anything else to chat about before we end?
I gotta go to Monica's sister has a basketball game.
All right, we can wrap next week.
Oh no, I still have some time if you wanted to talk about something.
No,
else.
I mean I just like you guys kind of addressed this last week, but what the hell's going on with our current team? We have like 8 players.
Yeah, I mean, when's the next deadline for the portal?
I think the players can still hop in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 60 days from the end of the season.
I mean, we're past that, right? Yeah, because that would be.
But there's like 1,300 players that entered the portal, so I don't know who's left.
But I feel like that, like, what's his Reeves from Kentucky? They're saying was about to enter, so I think you still can.
Yeah, you still can. I think
they just opened
Reeves
where you could have
contacts.
They just opened where you could, I guess, like they opened up the period for direct contact with 2025 players. So like Miami reached out to crap.
Anyway, while she looks that up,
I put it in the chat. Hold on.
Are you all like
Miami has reached out today to 2025 star shooting guard Malik Thomas.
I mean,
Dude
mean,
is a
this is like-
bucket.
yeah,
dude
but
is
it's
a
2
bucket.
years down the road. But
Really
this
good
year,
shooter.
how do you think we're gonna fill this roster out? Because it's
I mean, at this point, you just need bodies too, right? Like you need
Yeah.
rotation guys at the very least. It'd be nice to get like a starting quality guard that can create for himself and others. But I just don't know what's out there now. There's, unless more guys enter the portal, which is a real possibility. There's not a lot of guys that have been linked to us of recent. So I feel like it's going to have to be something that develops quickly, if anything. But I would like to see him add like 2 more guys.
I
I
agree.
think we need to. We don't really have enough players. And,
Yeah.
and we were lucky.
I mean, you have
year.
1 or 2 injuries, and
Yeah, we
it's
were. That's
like
what I was about to
2020
get at.
all over
we
again.
were lucky last year. We didn't really have any injuries. I know Norchek got injured against Duke, but he was back from the next game. Like we didn't really. Nigel missed like a game.
Yeah, only 1
Like,
game.
Yeah, like we got lucky with that. If we're a bad injury away from being like dead.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, like Jordan Miller in his 2 years only missed 1 game due to an injury.
Who was his draft pick? Jordan Miller. Same.
Right.
Vish
have a
is
good night,
rubbing that
guys.
in, not me. It's not me.
I don't care, man. I got
It's
Tim
not
Jones in the 3rd
me.
round. What kind of?
You're gonna make
This
Matt
is
mad
a-
at me. You shouldn't have You shouldn't have Vish on for the Jordan Miller interview.
It's okay.
I
My
create
team
the
would smoke
stream,
both
so.
of your guys's, so it doesn't matter. Wooga didn't miss a game, right? Totally lost my train of thought now too, because you just had me think about how I didn't get Jordan Miller. By the way,
No, I mean
Thank you.
it's basically no one got hurt last year. It was really just the,
Yeah.
the one game for Nigel and 1 game for Norchad is it.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
And
And I mean, the
now-
year before that, it was just Jordan Miller was out for 1 game, and I don't
That
think
year we
Zay
got
got
lucky because
injured.
all we had was a starting 5.
Yeah, I think Sam was out for like 1 or 2
he
games.
had something to do with his
if you
hand, I
remember.
thought, but he kept
Yeah.
played through it. He played through
He
it.
played through it, but
Oh no.
No, Jeff, let's not go back to that.
Oh no.
phase.
All right, this is
No.
coming on. All right.
Yeah.
We're not getting associated with that asshole. So there we go. Get us the fuck out of here.
Excuse the language, Vish. Wow, you just cussed on our pod.
I certainly did, and nothing is more offensive than being compared to
Did you curse earlier? I wasn't here for it before I joined.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you had a rant or something that you were gonna.
Oh no, we talked
Yeah,
about
but
that,
no,
but I
but he
treated
didn't
it
cuss.
civilly. Yeah, this is the
Oh, civilly.
There was no-
Okay.
and I went full F-bomb here, so that's probably not good for the monetization.
No,
aspect.
it was an A
But
bomb.
you know what is good for monetization? Price Picks. Go to PricePicks.com, enter offer code 5. That's FIVE. Will match up to $100 of your first deposit. So if you put in money, it'll be matched up to $100. That's PricePicks.com, offer code FIVE. There you go.
That's
One last
like
time.
3 times of plugging Prize Picks.
But anyway, yeah, probably for next week we'll talk a little bit about how we fix this roster because it's not there.
Are we having a
yeah.
guest next Wednesday, Matt, or no? Or are
I
we
mean,
working on
I'd
that?
have to find that guest isn't going to be for like 3 weeks if it happens.
Oh.
Well,
So
I
I'd
think
have to
again, I
find
think it's
someone
probably a worthy thing to maybe between now and next week kind of look through how we should probably all
Yeah.
come up with like how would you fill this roster out right now?
Yeah,
Like what is actually
Because
realistic
like
to get
the
in
off season is going to be like guests and maybe if we get a couple of additions and who we want. So it's just going to be me more talking about players I want that don't end up coming here.
Well, I mean, Matt Cleveland was one of those, and he did end up coming here. So, but again, I think we need to be realistic about who's left in the portal and like what are we even doing at this point? Like I'm not starting. I know you two aren't happy with Bensley and Nigel as a backcourt because of their size, but a lot of these names in the portal, there's no way I'm starting in front of Bensley. So,
I mean,
Reeves,
I don't
Reeves
think.
certainly would, but
But the thing is, Vish, like, I get it. Like, Bensley, I mean, Bensley could be better than someone. That doesn't necessarily mean that Bensley's the better pick to start, right? It depends on fit.
I'm just I think there's
Me and
a
Matt
big
are on the
update
same
yet.
page with this one.
I think the only barring like some kind of like actual like high level player coming in at the 2 position out of the portal. That's background noise. I'm assuming it comes through again.
Sorry.
I literally
windows
live
open.
right in the middle of the city, and that's you with the background noise. I think if anything, if we need to go bigger, Chris Watson's the answer.
Jeff wants to know if there's a baseball show coming up. Because the
Yeah,
season
if we
has been quiet.
it's also been quiet. The only update we saw was from Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball, kind of listing some candidates. There was, a surprise in there with Wake Forest head coach was one of the ones, apparently. South Carolina's head coach, who has ties to Miami, who was an assistant on our last national championship team. Troy Tulowitzki apparently interviewed, so JD Arteaga, that's kind of the latest we have on that. But yeah, they've kept it very quiet, and I will say that is a change for our baseball program, which generally the local community knows things before the AD does with the baseball program. So this is definitely a change. This is definitely a change.
Is a big step up from what we had. So
I would just say generally in the past, the baseball program has probably been the leakiest one on campus. So this is kind of a change. Just because it's so the way baseball works with like travel ball and all, and everyone comes up together, and then some of the players obviously end up here, some don't, but they're all in the community locally. So basically anything happened with the program is just they tell their primo who tells this guy who tells that guy, and everyone knows it in 5 minutes, and that's not happening here.
We haven't had any women's hoops news lately. Katie Meyer did her thing in the portal so early that we haven't had much to talk about since.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be much until
she added 4 people. So.
I will say I did put this on our schedule. As we get, into the fall, we'll start doing position breakdown, schedule breakdown, and, predictions and all that stuff. So there's not that much more of this until we kind of really dig into next season.
All right. Should we end it?
We should end it. So yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday, and yeah, I think we all would be. I don't know how realistic that is. Although the longer this drags out, obviously he's in Omaha right now. So
all right. Everyone go to Prize Picks. Tune in next week on Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but there will be something.
I just told you what we're going to talk about. We have 8 players on this basketball team.
Okay. We're going to talk about who else we want that's not going to come here.
Vish we're just generally, it's 2 things. It's not just
it'll be a whole thing.
It's not just, fantasy land. It's also how can you realistically fill the It doesn't have to even be a specific player. I would take a 6th-year senior big just for depth or something.
Save it for next week, Vish.
I just give you an example so people understand what they're signing up for. All right.
We need content.
We can maybe keep the show to less than 2.5 hours, and that'll give us more content. All right.
It's your fault.
Matt,
all right.
Melissa, good draft.
Peace out, guys. Don't cry. Keep it chill. Wear good socks.